fucking over there.
Look, I have a job on the show.
Seth drove all the way
over. You don't have a
here
job
from-
on the show. You need a job. Your job can be making sure the whole thing is recording. That can be your job.
That's not my job.
What is your job? To bring your fancy space pin, your Star Walker
Being
pin.
epic.
Well, if that's the case, then we all have been doing that.
Another fancy pen.
We're not blinking, right?
No.
Okay, good. All
That's a
right.
long one.
We'll talk about these pins because Tim's really into them. That's what he collects, and that's okay.
My dad collects them. I'm starting my collection. Number 1.
All right. Hey guys, my name is Zach.
I'm Dean.
I'm Jesse.
I'm Seth.
Welcome to this week's episode of Collecting Weekly. This is the weekly podcast. the way you said Seth, you like got really loud. It threw me off.
What?
He said his name really loud.
He's excited to be here. He's gonna bring the energy, and the energy
All right,
is here.
let's recap.
Right?
Ready?
Jeez, poor Seth.
I'm sorry. It just totally threw me off my cadence because I think Seth thought he was gonna go next, and then you jumped.
Well, on the snow sheet.
I
sorry.
am last, so.
On the snow sheet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Snow sneak.
I said that to be funny.
Snow sneak.
Alright, let's settle.
Okay.
God, dude, my chest is still hurting from laughing so hard. It was fine for like 3 days, and I jogged yesterday really hard, and now it's
I
hurting.
thought you said you got on the Bowflex.
Do I look like someone that owns a Bowflex?
In the garage.
It's not a Bowflex.
Oh.
That's where I hang clothes on.
But technically, yes, you do look like someone that owns a Bowflex. You're the
Ooh,
before
that's ugly.
picture.
Oh.
It's okay. It's coming from me.
I mean, is that like
Yeah, right.
an insult or a compliment?
Yeah, I don't know. Okay. Yeah, because they get jacked fast.
Yeah, but I said you're the before, so.
Hey guys, my name is Zach.
I'm Dean.
I'm Jesse.
I'm Seth.
Welcome to this week's episode of Collecting Weekly. This is the weekly podcast where my friends and I talk about the things that matter the most to us this week in collecting.
That's true.
Lots of show news. YouTube is getting big. So we put up a few videos. I've been really inspired, so we've been filming some content. And the YouTube has hit 80 subscribers, which is cool.
Oh,
And
nice.
our growth has been
What
slow,
was our
but
last
it's
week
like
was
70,
60 or? Oh, okay.
70 something. So we're growing. We have TeePublic going, so we have 4 designs there, and each one is better than the last. We have the regular shirt, the icon shirt, the auxiliary shirt, and then a Crispy by Collecting Weekly shirt. I want to think of some new ideas of shirts that we can make, but those are on there, and we'll put in auxiliary, we'll put on all of our social media whenever a sale happens, because I think that's the best time to get a shirt. Has your shirt come in, Seth?
No.
Bastards.
It is
Ian's
taken
shirt
a
got
while.
delivered in like a day in
Yeah,
England.
no. Mine has taken quite a while.
Sorry about that. You can find us on our Facebook group. It's Collecting Weekly Auxiliary. There's like 1 or 2 questions you'll need to answer, and then we will let you in. We love to have as many people as possible in that group. It's been a while since we've plugged it, so we're going to plug it for the next few episodes.
Yeah.
And if you're in San Antonio or the surrounding areas, so Austin, Houston, etc., look us up on our San Antonio Facebook group. It's 1/6 San Antonio, and we do 1/6 scale collectibles or other high-end stuff.
High-end
6-inch. We are unsullied by sponsorship today, so we're going to plug a bunch of different companies and talk about some really cool things that are going on within the community. And we'll kick this off with the reason why our YouTube is blowing up is Galactic Warfighters. Matthew Callahan is wrapping up his photo shoot with my ODST. And anytime he's been posting a picture, he's been linking our account, which is linked to our YouTube. And so we've had really good numbers on the podcast and really good numbers on the YouTube. So
Nice.
that is really cool. He has prints of the things that he's been making at galacticwarfighters.com/GWprints. You like the pictures?
Dude, the one where he's got the
shotgun with
Yeah,
the
the
social
shotgun
group.
one was a good one.
He shot some amazing photos with that.
Yeah, so I think he's going to shoot a few more, and I think at some point during this week it's going to head back to me, and then we'll feature it for a custom corner and a full video, because a lot of people want to see the articulation before they drop like that much on a figure, and it's actually really decent. So once I get it back, there's
What
a
would
few...
you say is total cost just getting everything together?
Just getting everything together, I would say it's about $330, maybe
That's not
$350.
terrible.
Because the body is pretty cheap. Granted, you have to find it in stock, and then the
But
boots.
couldn't you technically use anybody?
Well, the thing is, it has to aim down the sights naturally, and a lot of bodies can't do that.
Oh, okay. So it's gonna have like butterfly joints.
yeah.
Sorry.
double joints, and I feel like the way the Soldier Store bodies, they do that little wrist thing with the gun, it looks really natural. And then, you know, I paid this guy, Andrew Sharent, an amount of money. I don't know what he charges now, but I paid him some money to prep the parts for me for paint.
Right.
And I can paint, so I painted it myself.
Right.
And if you're watching us on YouTube, you can see here this red ODST visor and this helmet here. Back in December, we did a contest, and finally I got all the paints that I needed and the time to do it. And this guy is not in any rush. He's still acquiring the parts himself. And I had a lot of time this past weekend to chat with him, and we have a painted helmet now, and it looks fantastic. So
Yeah, the weathering and everything on it looks great.
yeah.
The visor.
yeah, you can go and grab it off the stand. But yeah, so that's it for show news. Actually, there's one more big thing. We clearly have an absence here today.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
room is maybe a little quieter.
I had a little bit of-
Manny was kind of upset that we sandbagged his story last episode, and he was coming at me pretty hard this week with the memes of the calling. And
Also, I roasted the shit out of him yesterday
yeah,
with the Mark 50.
Yeah, dude,
Yeah,
way
you gotta-
different.
I was, cause he came at me and then called me bitch, and I was like, all right, and I just went in on him, and then
we
got
photoshopped the picture of Pam where it's the Mark 50 and the Mark 85, and it's like corporate says to find the difference between these two pictures. There is no difference.
And he was like, that doesn't make sense. It's like, yeah, you're right, because they don't look anything
Dude,
alike.
I
Because
died.
he said that the 85 was just a Mark 50 repaint. And
Clearly
I
it's
was
not.
like,
Just by looking at the shoulders, it's not.
yeah, the show, like, I literally tried to find a similarity. Even the hands are different. Like,
Yeah,
I think it might just be the shape of the arc reactor.
yeah,
Mhm.
Because even the top part of the breastplate is different.
yeah.
So it's
So
like a
I went
beefier
on it
version of
really
it
hard.
almost.
yeah, and he was like, "Fuck y'all guys, I don't want to be on this podcast anymore." And
He left
So-
the chat.
he left the chat, and he said he didn't want to come today. I tried to add him back to the chat, and I was like, "Almighty Shelton, we wish that you will come back." And my stupid Siri autotype, I was saying Shenron, and I put the GIF of them resurrecting people with the Dragon Balls, and then he left the chat immediately. So perhaps he'll be back one day, Manny. We will avenge the
I
fallen.
don't know if we're still invited to his wedding.
Yeah, I mean, we're his like groomsmen.
I know, like, I think a day
Yeah.
ago he asked for my address,
That's
so.
on- Yeah,
I
that's,
didn't really roast him.
oh, that's true. You weren't really a part of that. No,
Just-
that's
I was like more like an overseer. I was like, oh, that's brutal.
Jesse was like, "I know, mom and dad are fighting. I'm just gonna stab them."
yeah, so I don't know.
Dean actually called me this week too, and so, you know, I guess the turntables have turned. Even though you said it was a butt dial, I have a feeling you actually really wanted to talk to me.
Oh no, I was at work. I definitely just accidentally called.
He really wanted to speak to you.
He
You
had
wanted
it was
to call.
10:15 on a Friday, and he was like, "I'm gonna call you."
It was not 10:15 on a Friday. It was like 4 p.m. on Tuesday.
Look, if that's when you scheduled the call to me, that's fine. I'm just saying that's what happened. But yeah, so that's pretty much it with the whole Manny situation. Live streaming, we're gonna focus more on YouTube with when you live stream with this camera that we got, it cuts it to like bare minimum 720, and we can record with this in 4K and 1080.
It's so
60
crispy.
frames. Now the 4K takes up way too much memory, so we're just using the 1080 60. But I
Which
find
still
that
looks
the
great.
quality is really good. And I feel like I've gone on forever about this intro with drama and show
This
news.
is a
So
really long
Dean,
intro.
take it away with your segment.
Are you guys ready?
Yes.
We're gonna talk about.
New this week.
Yeah, there you guys go.
All right, Dean.
You
So
did it better than I ever could. I'm kind of jealous. Anyway, I can't believe this, but I didn't really get anything this week.
some
No.
rookie numbers, man.
Yeah, dude, I was surprised. I didn't even get a pop, like anything. But I did get a new pen.
Nice.
Now this pen is
Is
a
it a Bic?
special pen. It's not a big pen. It's called a Mont Blanc.
Okay.
Matt LeBlanc makes pins.
No. God damn it, man. No, this is just a brand of pen that are very, very beautiful. And my dad has a collection, and I got a new job, and it's kind of a big deal. So
Mhm.
I was like, I'm gonna buy one to celebrate.
Mm-hmm.
And my sister heard that I was gonna buy one, and she was like, I'll buy one for him. So she went and bought me. It's called the Star Walker,
Oh.
Ooh.
and it's stunning.
Nice. Is it German made? Like, what is this?
I don't believe they're German. I'm pretty sure they're Swedish,
Uh-huh.
if I remember correctly. Or
That's pretty.
Show it to the camera. Look at that.
It was a nice
yeah.
pen. Look at that.
This is the
I know it's
this
a
is
little-
the
it's a little
Skywalker
weird,
by
but-
Mont Blanc.
No, Star Walker.
Starkiller?
God damn.
I mean, it even feels like a nice pen.
Yeah, it's just they're very beautiful pens. But that's the first in my pen collection, so
That's cool. I got some Sharpie pens and some Bics and a Facebook community
Nice.
leadership circle.
You're gonna get a
Yeah,
call
no,
later
this
where he
one's
forgets
My
it here.
pen
Hey,
collection.
leave my Matt LeBlanc pen
this
here.
one was about
I actually have a story about those. I'll tell it later in the podcast. Like right at the
okay,
end.
okay, cool. Yeah, they're about this one was probably right under $400. So they are not cheap pens.
That is a really expensive. I was not expecting that. That's
Yeah.
Wow.
Mont Blanc are very expensive.
Matt LeBlanc likes to trade.
Yeah, they make watches, cologne. Their leather goods are amazing, like wallets, briefcases, and stuff. Check them out, Mont
Like a
Blanc.
leather
I
pen.
believe I love.
Sponsor Collecting Weekly. Find Mont Blanc.
That'd be amazing.
Mm.
Seth, you got anything cool this week?
I actually got Kylo Ren from The Last Jedi.
Oh, I saw the pics.
Oh,
it looks
that's
really
great.
good.
So I
Looks
was really
good.
happy to get it. It's been sitting in my pile of loot at BBTS for a while.
Uh-huh.
Oh, you
So
wanted to
it's
get
like-
the hell out of there?
I want to be like, I don't really need anything else, so I might as well just ship it.
Yeah.
So I was really happy to get it. It's awesome. I mean, movie being what it is, it's a great figure. It
Yeah.
really is.
Mm-hmm.
I almost want to make my V1.
Into a V2.
Yeah, I just like the. I was gonna look for the parts on.
Twine
Yeah, just get that upper tunic. Because
Yeah.
really, it's just the tunic that's different.
Yeah.
The tunic and the cape, and then
Yeah.
Yeah, the cape, but
I guess if you don't want the mask.
I don't want that. I'm gonna go fucking.
Yeah.
Adam Driver is not intimidating or scary looking.
But it is a good sculpt. I like it.
Oh, it's a fantastic sculpt.
Mhm. He's not. He's kind of.
But it comes with his helmet, right?
Yeah, it comes
Can
with
you
both.
swap it on?
Yeah.
Cool.
So.
Not bad.
So my coins, my John Wick coins finally came in again.
Ooh.
I bought more, so you guys want to check those
Where do you
out.
get these?
RPF guy
Oh, cool.
sources them out, and they finally came in.
These are resin or they're metal?
No, they're metal. They're like
Awesome.
legit gold plated or whatever. They're pretty great. I did order something else for myself. It's on its way. It's this resin kit from Alien. It's Kane and like the egg and facehugger. It's cool little like 1/9 scale.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we thinking about painting it. I kind of want to leave it white. I'm not sure. I'm still thinking about because I know Zach is a pretty good painter. I'm great, but not in like small scale. So we'll see. But that's it for me this week.
That's awesome.
Hang on, my computer's being weird.
Oh, they're just.
No, I stopped it on purpose. I just
Okay.
want to make sure
Towards
it's
the
saving it. Okay, so I'll pick it up with.
Not bad, right?
I thought you were gonna say you got the neck of Kane. I was like, what?
Dude,
Okay, hang on. Let's get back into it. Sorry. So new this week for me, kind of a slow week. I got a ODST Funko Pop, which is pretty cool. I was kind of, I guess I don't collect that many other pops, and so I'm kind of surprised that this one didn't come with a stand. John Hammond didn't, but his cane kind of doubled as a stand. You know, like a third point of contact with the ground.
I would check maybe like the packaging. Cause
No,
sometimes-
it doesn't.
didn't?
Yeah, no, I
Okay.
looked on. There's not even holes in the feet, and I have the head a little loose so that I can kind of push it forward because when the head's seated all the way back, it's too back heavy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I have it seated. Yeah, and it just looks cooler like that. I also got the Boba Fett animation body from Hot Toys from the Star Wars special, and some Clone Trooper feet and hands, which you can see here on the video. And
Nice.
those are going to be for a project which I will talk about in the next few minutes. So those were pretty much my pickups. It's kind of a slow week, I guess, for all of us, but
Yeah, I
you
can't
know.
believe it.
yeah, this is kind of a weird. Usually we spend a lot of time with this segment, but yeah. So that was kind of a slow week for us. But I also picked up a few more of these acrylic, quote unquote, movie posters, and we'll talk about those a little bit later in the show.
I'm
as
excited
well.
for that.
So for new pre-orders, the in-game Thanos has come up for pre-order. 415, armored up,
Oh.
double axe, looking crispy.
I almost like the Infinity War version better.
Really?
Why is that?
I don't know. He just looks more intimidating without the armor.
I mean, he is pretty intimidating in the
Either
whole
way.
movie.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm torn. I like both. I
yeah.
want to get both, but
I think it's kind of odd that he has the armor now when he's fighting like
Yeah.
less people. You know, like they're throwing everything at him, and he was like wearing cargo shorts and
Well, I
a
think
tank top. You know,
I think it's because the gauntlet's damaged.
yeah.
I don't think he's gonna be able to use it. Like
Really? That'd be
Cap
lame.
was.
that'd be super lame.
I mean, he obviously can use it because he fucking teleported out of there and isn't dead. So
Spoiler alert. I'm just kidding.
I just don't think it's gonna be like max power.
Yeah. I mean, it is.
Because why even include that in it if it didn't affect
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
You know.
Several people pointed out even in the trailer that like one of the new trailers has him in the ship instead of like using the gauntlet
To travel.
To travel. So
Oh, that's true. But then
Yeah.
he shows up. Well, actually, it almost looks like
Well, his knives look like
his
the
ship.
helicopter.
Yeah, you're right. The ship beams him down.
Interesting. Maybe some things
That
going on
new
there.
trailer.
The
said-
Mark 85.
I don't trust those traders. They're all
also-
gonna-
That's true.
Yeah.
Manny had made a good point a long time ago about not
We miss
trusting
you, man.
trailers.
Come back.
I know, dude. If you're listening to this for whatever reason,
We miss you, man.
I didn't mean to roast you so bad.
Manny, I can't fill your seat. I feel wrong over here.
Literally, you can't feel this.
I can't.
I love it. Well, I meant because of other things.
Big old beat down.
So 423 buys you a Mark 85, which is ridiculous.
That's more than the Thanos.
More than the Thanos.
But it is metal.
That, to me, that price is insane. KG Hobby had it for cheaper, and of course Secret Base had it for a lot cheaper. I've seen some chatter from 16 Republic that Sideshow is almost becoming the least appealing retailer to buy it from due to how late they get the figures. Some people are saying with shipping and the little bit of extra fee to buy from a Hong Kong seller, it's actually a little bit cheaper. Though Sideshow has perhaps thrown a wrench into this because they released a limited coupon. I think it's like only for a few days, and I think it's for pre-order items. And so with the rewards plus the coupon, I think you come out a little bit ahead of like some of these Hong Kong sellers. And I think that might be because of some of the chatter on these big groups. They have people that are in there looking at the groups. So it's a lot of money. God, that is so much money. I think it's almost like $70 or $80 above the Secret Base retail, maybe even a little bit more.
Jesus.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
That-
markup.
Yeah,
How much was the Mark
Big Fat.
50?
The Mark 50 was $405 if I remember correctly. But Seth, you were showing us on Big Bad Toy Store to pre-order the Hot Toys. There's like an $85 or $90 NRD,
Yeah.
which is
Oh, that's
significant.
crazy. It's
I
like-
think recently they had done some $30 ones, but
Mm-hmm.
I'll
But
let you take it
almost
away.
like $83, $85. That's what, $40 more than Sideshow itself.
Yeah,
That's scary.
I don't know what all that's about. You know, they're really weird about how they charge those deposits,
Uh-huh.
and they won't on some figures, and that's why I like to order with them because if it's like let's say Captain Marvel, I just barely saw the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, the pre-order came out long before I saw the movie, so I pre-ordered it with BBTS. So if I hated the movie, I could be like, oh, I don't really want that anymore.
Yeah, that's how I use them for cheaper figures, and I hope that they don't make this a thing for all their
Yeah.
figures. Like, I've pre-ordered maybe, and I guess maybe this is why they do it, but I've pre-ordered like maybe 10 things on BBTS, and I've canceled maybe 4 of them. Granted, they're like $20, $25 figures, but it's just, I hope it doesn't become a thing.
Yeah.
Where like they're doing this on everything.
I don't-
I can maybe see why, especially for big things. Like, I think they had done this a few years back for like some of the 1/5 scale like massive Chronicle statues where it's like
Mhm.
they're not going to order this unless they know people really want them. But
I
it's
almost wonder if this isn't because of Infinity War Thanos though, because so many people
canceled that one.
Oh.
That's
So-
true.
It's kind of weird that all of a
Could
sudden
be a
it's
thing.
come up and it's like an expensive deposit.
Yeah, that could definitely
So-
be a thing. So stay tuned for that. One really, really cool thing, Hot Toys showed off a Shazam picture. So this isn't
teaser?
technically a new pre-order. Yeah, they showed the Shazam and also the yellow Neon Tech Iron Man this week. Some people thought that maybe the yellow one was an April Fool's joke. I still think it might be, but the fact that it's like what is this 4-2, and they still haven't said anything that's not.
Well,
I think it leads me to believe that's probably legitimate.
it is different. Like the suit.
Yeah, it's a Mark 6.
I thought it was
Just a straight
a
revamp.
color shift
No.
on I was like, the background was kind of weird. Like, I think
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's
someone
not.
just messing with it, but yeah, it's a totally different suit.
Yeah, I think it's too intricate of a joke for it to be.
And it is on the Hot Toys website.
Oh, is it really? Okay.
I think it is.
Okay.
So.
Yeah. Rebor put up a really
You go
funny.
pre-order, it's like April Fools.
Rebor put up a
There
really.
goes your NRD.
Gotcha.
Rebor put up a funny little joke. I thought it was like a real thing. I was like, that's really cool. I was like, damn it, I just got April fooled. It was a set of Gatling guns for all their T-Rexes, and it was like, it'll fit all the T-Rexes. And it was like they showed one of their like most aggressive looking Rex models with the T-Rex with Gatling guns. I was like, dude, that's fucking
I
cool.
kind of wish it was real now.
Does
Yeah,
that
no.
have, like battle armor and
That
shit?
would
Yeah,
be
yeah.
amazing.
And the reason why I thought it was real, there's a company that makes these little cat model kits. They're like in
Yeah.
tanks and stuff. Yeah, so I was like, oh, okay, cool. But no, I think all indications show that it may have been a joke. But Rebor's done some cool things like that in the past with like Christmas themed dinosaurs where you can put like a Santa hat on them. So I thought it might have been legitimate, but it's not. Really, 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 really cool pre-order. This is from a company called Staten Tech, and I may be pronouncing this wrong. This is a company down in Mexico. They are pre-ordering and starting production this week on a 1/6 scale Republic Commando, and I am super excited for it. Now, this guy is someone that Darren from Auxiliary and Cody from Echo Base Customs have told me is a very trustworthy guy. And he has a nice website. It's kind of bare bones right now. He just started the website for this company. And he had been selling on Shapeways a lot. And he was encouraged to move away from Shapeways because he was saying for this kit, which is several different pieces, would be over $300 to print from Shapeways, which is about what my ODST armor costs.
Right.
Printing it from home, he was able to get the kits down to I think $145,
Oh, wow.
which is
That's not
50%
bad.
the cost of Shapeways, and that's not bad at all. You can't even get a regular clone for that price. And he
Nope.
sands the print lines and everything and then primes it for you and sends you a primed, ready to assemble kit.
I
Wow.
mean, that's a
So-
great price for what you're getting.
Yeah, and the real cool thing was, and I think the coupon's over, but he had done a coupon for a Facebook group that I'm part of called Clone Troopers United, where it was, I think it was like $25 off the figure,
How are you a member of that? I'm not.
because I have 10 Sideshow clone figures and you have none.
You have that reversed.
Oh, I don't know. No, I'm just kidding. No, Darren, actually, Anthony Moore, the guy who won the ODST helmet, he was like, man, one day when I finish my ODST, I really want to make a commando. And I'm like, oh, like that'd be really cool. I was like, but I mean, no one's making commandos. And he's like, no, there's a guy making commandos. And I'm like, wait, what?
You shut your whore mouth. What?
Send me pictures. They look totally legit. So, so I did put in a pre-order. It was, I think, $140 for the kit shipped. And then he makes also the neck gasket. He's going to send me one of his prototypes. That was like another $10. And then I bought the blaster pistol from the video game. I think it's like the DC-17S, something like that. And then, so with all of that, I think my total spent was like $160, $150.
And
and-
you took this out of Fun the Rex.
Took it out of the Fun the Rex because with this kind of a kit, you don't know if they're going to make these for a
True,
year, you
true.
don't know if they're going to make these for 2
Yeah.
years, for just the first batch. But
Yeah,
I'm happy enough with the quality, and this guy, I have to really give him props because initially I thought he just got the models and printed and was just printing people's stuff, but he actually designed everything himself. And on that Clone Troopers United group, if you search his name is Sergio, he's done like, I think it's like 17 or 18 iterations of different parts. Like, oh, like, what do you guys think about this? Oh, this helmet needs to be bigger or smaller, or, you know, this needs to be changed scale. And so he's really put in the work to really perfect this model, and I'm super excited. And I know I've talked about it in the past, but Darth Vader and the Lost Command is a really cool comic series. And in that series, he has a commander named Commander Voka, who is a commando that has a blue stripe on his arms and then his helmet. So I think I'm going to make a Commander Voka figure.
The only thing I didn't like from the pictures of the kit, those guys are the armor is very bulky and they have a really big upper body and like a huge backpack From the pictures, it just looked really narrow.
Yeah, maybe that's how it'll be, but those proportions came from those 18 or 20 iterations of multiple people putting feedback in. So it's not like he's making a artistic decision. I think he's taking like some of the CRLs from the 501st and applying them to the figure. So I would agree with you, but also I think it could be the body that he's using, because he said he's using a Sideshow body. And I think if you bulk up, the body, I think you can make it look a little bit more hulking.
Yeah.
So I actually picked up, like I said, the Boba Fett animation body, but I picked up those Royal Guard wrist extension, or ankle extenders that are going to add like a 1/4 inch of the height to make them a little bit more imposing. So that's going to be really neat. And
is the neck articulated or no?
That neck is articulated.
Yeah.
It is?
Yeah.
Okay, it looks like it's one solid
No.
piece.
So I'm really excited about that. It comes with the Republic Commando blaster as well, and then also has the vibro blade for the left wrist. So
Cool.
really, really cool kit. And he asked us if we could talk about his business a little bit, and I asked him to kind of write a little bit of a summary about your business. So he says he started his business in 2015. Staten Tech started as a way to develop parts and accessories that couldn't be found anywhere for our collectibles and display figures. With the amazing tool of 3D printing, we finally were able to bring our ideas to life. Now we bring this possibility to our fellow collectors. We hope you enjoy our work. And his website is www.stadintech.com/shop. Really, really cool guy. His name is Sergio. Very trustworthy. He's actually the guy, Dean, on Shapeways when I got that blaster, the ARC Trooper blaster. He designed that blaster.
Oh,
But he prints it at a much higher resolution. Because remember, yours was kind of grainy.
Uh-huh.
His printer, he started making them himself once he realized the upcharge that Shapeways was charging. Prints like almost Sideshow quality weapons in terms of like the print lines.
Yeah.
So very cool stuff, and just a really cool guy to work with. So check him out. Like I said, the sale may be over, but the even at
Products are
140,
still available,
yeah, products are definitely still available. And like I said, he does make that ARC Trooper blaster and the clone data pad, which is like an accessory they use a lot in Clone Wars. So really, really cool stuff. New releases, Mark 50 came out from Sideshow, from Hot Toys, and it was kind of leaked early by Sideshow.
Like a day or two?
Yeah, the review went up, and we won't mention the reviewer, but initially it was panned pretty good. Some people were saying they wanted to cancel their pre-orders, and I think maybe this may have forced Hot Toys' hand to release it the next day. Maybe it did, maybe it didn't, but at any rate, it came out the next day in Hong Kong, and a lot of those initial fears were put to rest when some really great figure reviewers like Justin's Collectibles got their hands on it and showed that indeed there's not as much gap in the shoulders. There's still a little bit of gap in the waist, but I think you have to have some gap somewhere on a figure like this. And it's a really nice looking figure. The blogger pics look insane. But I think the one thing to consider is blogger pics versus real life. These blogger pics, maybe they're not heavily photoshopped, but they're certainly under ideal lighting. And if you look at these figures, in that first review that came out the day before it was supposed to come out, the figure looked really bad. It looked dull. It was under really bad lighting. And then you get under the blogger pics, it looks amazing. You get it under Justin's Collectibles, mentioned Sealed Box Podcast. They have a really good lighting setup. It looked amazing. So it just really depends how you light your figures. And that's why I made that video on building the Rex display, because really lighting totally changes the mood of a display.
Yeah.
If I was to light maybe a gritty DC Universe figure in cool white, it wouldn't look right, because those films are very toned, and so a warm white would look significantly better than a cool white. So it just depends on how you light your figures, but I certainly think this figure might benefit more from a cool white type of lighting.
Yeah.
But I mean, it looks really good, this figure. So that was released. What do you guys think about it?
It makes me want one.
Yeah,
I'm not a huge fan of the suit in the movie, just because the CG is not great on the Iron Man suit particularly.
Yeah.
I feel like they spent all their money on Thanos, which it makes sense.
Yeah.
Because he's actually believable.
Super believable.
Yeah.
It never for a second takes me out of the movie Thanos looks terrible.
Yeah.
But the suit does. This they didn't do very good.
Mm-hmm.
I think the only scene that really looked out of place for me was the first scene when he
Yeah.
armors up. It was just that bright lighting really.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was that bad in Titan or on the ship. but for
And
sure.
it might be the fact that when it's on Titan, obviously not a real place, but when you're shooting like in, I guess, New York,
Yeah,
you know,
it
against
sticks
a
out.
real backdrop, it's gonna look
Um,
really, really fake. So
Yeah, so, but dude, I'm looking at the pictures,
Mhm.
the reviews, I'm like, damn,
it looks
I
amazing.
kind of want one.
It looks really
It does
good.
look really good.
And that, I mean, I'm not worried about what, you know, other pictures. You can see some awesome figures with some terrible photos taken of them, and
Yeah.
they all look bad.
Yeah.
It's just, I mean, if you don't have any experience taking photos, or you're shooting with just a camera phone, you know, it's not gonna look good.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm not worried about what it looks like. I want to get one. It looks amazing.
Yeah, definitely. So I had this interesting. Well, actually, let's talk about one more release, Viserion.
Oh,
the
yeah.
McFarlane Viserion has come out.
It's popping up here and there.
Yeah, I went to 2 stores. I didn't call because I knew you guys would roast me. I actually physically went and wasted an hour.
I cannot believe it. I'm gonna have a
Um,
heart attack.
Yeah, I went to 2 stores. I went 0 for 2 on Viserion. Zach
That's what it's
Williams.
like being a collector, man.
I don't like it.
That's
Yeah,
toy
how
hunting.
many
That's,
hunts- yeah.
that's toy hunting.
I don't like it.
I think,
So Zach Williams, SNA Toys on Instagram, really cool guy, was telling me that his Target in I think Georgia got them, and I adore the way that this figure looks. I know you were saying maybe it might be a little small for your taste, the body part, like the
yeah, it
actual
just
body of it.
looks.
And I don't disagree, but the thing is, proportionally they're very sleek in the show, and the
Right.
wings are massive.
yeah.
And I think the wingspan on this is already 16 inches, which is pretty good. And so to scale the body up to like a bigger size, you're gonna have to make like a 20, 25 inch wingspan. I think at that point maybe it becomes a bit excessive. But I'm
so cool with that.
well, I would be cool
I
with
feel
it.
like you could, have the wings in 4s and
Uh-huh.
put them in the packaging.
Gee, yeah.
Because the wings are still connected.
Yeah.
And so you have a big ass box, but it's all wing. If
Uh-huh.
you have a way of like taking those wings and, hiding the seams
Yeah.
I can see that.
and like coming apart
Yeah.
and having them in the package.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing that really stuck out for me though is how good the articulation was. Like, I think the neck had
I
like 2
haven't watched the
joints.
review, so.
Oh, okay. The neck has like 2 joints. The tail has 4 joints. The wings articulate really good.
Mhm.
For me, all around, this is like a home run figure. I mean,
It looks awesome.
yeah, I don't think that.
Yeah, when
I
you have
ex-
all 3 on the shelf, it's gonna be badass.
Yeah, now the thing is, they have to release the 3rd dragon because they've Rhaegal because they teased Drogon and they have him for pre-order of Viserion. So I really hope that they do indeed make Rhaegal.
I would
That'd
be
be crazy
pretty
if they
pissed
did.
if
That would
they
be
just didn't do
an
the last one.
insane display, though. I almost think that maybe they're not making him yet until they reveal his look in the last season, and then perhaps
Yeah.
we'll get his.
Oh yeah, because
character.
maybe Jon Snow gets him.
Exactly. That's exactly what I'm thinking. So
Right.
that is really cool.
Cool.
So I'm going to show you guys something. Okay, so
Is it your peen?
no, we need longer than an hour and a half. No, just kidding. So
He's
about
confident.
2 weeks before I ordered the Rex, I had ordered a different T-Rex figure. And I would have gotten it regardless if I got the Rex or not. It's the W Dragon 135th Buck Rex from the Lost World. And I had kind of been bouncing between sellers who I wanted to buy it from. One guy that had like maybe 200 positive feedback had it for like $30 less than this other guy who had 5,000 feedback. And it's a lot of money from an overseas guy. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to go with the more expensive and kind of just be smart about it.
Mhm.
So I ordered it, and fucking that package has not moved. So Saturday, I get a notification from eBay, your order has been delivered. So I'm like, yes, this is great. And sure enough, right when I get the notification, I'm sitting right here where you're sitting, Dean, and which is right by the door. The mailman knocks on my door, so I'm like, yes, it's about to be dope. And he hands me the ODST box, and I'm like, okay. And I didn't want to ask him because he's in a rush. Obviously, it's Saturday, he's trying to get done with his deliveries. And so I assume it's in the mailbox. Like, we have a little communal mailbox with the key. Go out there, there's nothing. This man split. Mail's gone. So I'm like, what the fuck? So I check eBay, and it's like, sure enough, your package is delivered. It was out for delivery this morning. It's delivered. I'm like, what the hell? Inside my mailbox was this.
Ooh.
Take a look at this letter. I'm gonna let Dean read out the first page.
Hold on.
Wait, hang on. Let's.
I'm gonna
Oh, okay. Yeah, get
Just-
some video here.
get some video of this. Let me.
Okay, go ahead.
Thank you for your purchase.
You don't have to read out the tracking numbers.
We have passed a copy of the shipping certificate of your parcel for local delivery. There's the number. If your postman can't find you, you can use a copy of the shipping certificate to help you. Your package is sent by China Post with the registration number blah.
So essentially, the way I read that was the 0GA number is how to track the package, right? The 0GA number is this right here.
Right.
And the other number hasn't updated since it left China.
The LK one.
Yeah, hasn't updated at all. It just says like origin posted preparing
Oh,
shipment.
oh,
So
prepared for shipment?
preparing shipment.
Oh.
But eBay, when I checked eBay that morning, this number here was on eBay and it said it was delivered. Like eBay thought the dinosaur was delivered.
Oh.
And so I called eBay and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, this is not a cheap purchase by any means. And I've never had a seller mail me a receipt. Because this is basically what it is, a
Yeah.
receipt.
It's like
And I'm like, am I being scammed? So hopefully we'll have an update because at this point the package just says Origin Post is preparing shipment.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
eBay says it's delivered. So I called eBay, LOL. I called eBay because like this is not something you go to chat for. And they're like, well, technically this tracking says that expected between April 17th and April 21st. So they said, if at any time between now and then you feel uncomfortable, you can call us back. The seller has assured me the CN number is accurate, but I've never had a seller
This is
mail me a
crazy.
receipt.
Yeah, this is,
Yeah.
this
This
is
is
insane.
weird.
And so I'm like, because the guy's
this
like,
is an easy way of getting around, like, oh, your package was delivered.
and so I checked the date.
Yeah.
I'm like, did I order a picture of a dinosaur or whatever? And no,
Right.
it's like a legitimate listing. So I start to peel this thing back, and you can clearly see the Chinese numbers here beneath it. So this was the original G0A package, and I guess Speedy Pack is a company that allows greater Chinese sellers to expedite their shipments. But I've never had one that has mailed me something that wasn't the package.
Yeah.
Right.
Because the guy in China that I buy the Han Solo scope from, he ships this method where it's like the tracking number doesn't update, and then one day you get it and there's a USPS number on
Right.
it. And that's Speedy Pack, like it's to get these packages there faster. But I've never had someone send me a receipt in the mail
With the tracking number.
with the tracking
So-
number.
What is this from? It's from Aurora, Colorado.
Exactly. So then I called that guy twice to be like, bro, where the fuck is my package? And he doesn't answer. He just like ignores my call. So I don't know. I'm not gonna
That's
blast the
weird.
seller yet, but we're gonna update it. Maybe next week we'll have a more positive.
He's like, I can get you one. It's from
Because
China.
I've seen that before too, yeah. Where there's something I want and there's a lot of knockoffs of it.
Mhm.
So I go to US sellers only, and they're also selling knockoffs.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, who am I
Yeah.
paying here? Am I paying you or am I paying
Yeah.
you to just order it from some asshole in China?
That's kind of what it seems like, though. It seems like you bought it,
Yeah, maybe that's why it
From
costs
him.
$30 more.
and then he's like ordering it from somebody else.
Ordering it from that guy.
Maybe.
He's getting your $30.
So we talked about this. I think it was on the Bamboozled Again episode. Maybe that's what it's a dropshipper, but instead of Amazon, it's from a guy in China.
Yeah.
It is so weird.
That's
Um,
crazy.
That is
It's
weird.
so weird.
I thought he sent you
Now-
I'm
like.
uncomfortable.
Now, the only thing that is not in my favor about this whole situation is I ordered this, right? And the guy took like 4 or 5 days to ship it. And at that point, I was already strongly considering to buy the Rex. 'Cause I was like, man, like I just spent that much money on this Rex. I should just buy the Rex that I really want. And so I'd messaged the seller and I was like, hey, I'd like to cancel this order if you haven't shipped it yet. So it does not look good in my favor
Well, it looks
because
terrible on your part
yeah.
now.
So I don't know. I'm kind of worried. But I mean, worst case, PayPal will have my back. But the only thing that I know what you guys are saying about the whole is this guy in the U.S. shipping it. This number, the 0GA in this package, originated in China.
Yeah.
So it's not like this guy in Colorado is just like ordering it and sending me. Someone from China actually sent this package to me. This envelope here. So
Oh, why?
I imagine this letter is like probably like $6 or $7 to ship to the United States.
Yeah.
$10 maybe. Why? You could. Does that have email? This is worse than me calling people. They send me a whole damn letter to send me a receipt.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
is the only
This is
way it
sending
works.
it in the package.
They
Exactly.
mailed you the receipt.
I
That's
just
crazy. I mean, worst case.
and I wanted to tell you guys this. You guys were like, what is that? I was like, no, I need to tell you this live because I don't want this reaction to be
Well,
ruined.
all of our faces were kind of like, what?
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of build. I don't know.
I
I'm
don't-
confused. I don't
I don't
know.
like this.
I
But
don't
worst
like
case,
I would
they
cancel
sent you a
it
receipt.
anyways. I don't know if I like
They
this.
sent you a paper trail, so I mean,
Yeah, worst case, someone knows about this package,
Yeah.
and now both tracking numbers are on eBay, so there's that going
Yeah.
for me.
Oh, okay.
But it's
You have the tracking number of the tracking number? Is that what this is?
I don't know. That is the weirdest thing. Like, I'm glad that you guys think it's weird too, because I was worried that
is
you
this
guys.
figure already out other places? Like,
Yeah, so this company did a batch, and
Uh-huh.
it sold so well that they're like, they got enough people to ask to make a second batch.
yeah.
So this is like a popular thing. Like, it's not like a huge company, but it's like enough people have them that it's like I'm not worried that I'm gonna get like a crappy, dinosaur statue.
Yeah. I mean, it just almost seems like a weird.
It's
like,
a weird hustle, I think.
Yeah.
So I don't know. So we will update you guys, I guess, someday between now and April 21st. So I had to get my money back, and I just felt bad because the eBay guy was like, "Would you like your money back now?" And I'm like, "Well, I'd feel really bad because this is not even like from the cheap guys. Like this is not an inexpensive thing to purchase."
Mm-mm.
And so I was like, let's, if that's what you're telling me, at this point the guy hadn't messaged me back yet. I was like, if this is what you're telling me, let's hold off for a few days. Let's see if the seller communicates with me. But I told him, I was like, I just want you to log that, like, I'm letting y'all know this shit is not delivered yet. So we will update you guys for this. But on the subject of eBay, I just don't get why you can buy things for so cheap on eBay. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, this Buck ODST Pop was $9, and it came in like a pretty good sized box, which I imagine was like $5 or $6 to ship.
Dude,
And
if you think eBay is crazy, have you tried Mercari?
Mercari, I'm just like, this dude hustled for $3, like, and I realize that's a very privileged thing to say, that I'm not needing to hustle to make $3, but it just seems like it's gotta put a lot of effort. And then plus
Dude,
the
it's gonna
eBay
cost
fees.
them more to
Yeah.
get to the fucking post office and ship it.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Like it's odd.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then today,
Maybe
like,
it's people who buy like storage units or something.
yeah, so maybe. But this, I bought some books today on eBay. Also, I've gone to a few half-price
Nerd.
books. Well, they're Star Wars books, so and well, we collect Star Wars. And it was $3.50 for a book shipped, and it's like, what money are you making for this $3.50?
Wait. Serious question.
Yeah.
Can you call eBay to buy from them?
To buy
Because
from the
I just
seller?
assume that you call eBay.
Oh no, no, I got the app. On my
Are you
phone.
sure?
Yeah, no, I'm sure.
Okay.
I'm sure.
See, he still uses
I'm-
his phone. It's just
Yeah, I still
Yeah.
use my phone.
I just assumed that you call them. I didn't know you could use the app.
But it's like, what's the damn point?
right.
Let's take a quick break and then we'll be back with some really cool news from Jazz Inc. Good podcast so far. Good podcast.
What time are we at?
42 minutes.
Oh,
I took the break early.
42?
Yeah.
Oh shit. I
Yeah.
feel like we're fucking flying through it.
All right, let's get going. And we are back. So, Jazz Inc. Amazing stuff. So, really quickly, let's just round of applause. Yo's father is back to work. We interviewed him, Yost, and he told me during the interview his father Hans had been ill and had to undergo some stuff. And he posted a video on his Facebook group, his Jazz Inc. Dioramas Facebook group. His dad was back to making dioramas, so it's wonderful
Nice.
news. We wish him a speedy recovery and all the best from the Collecting Weekly crew. And they got some cool stuff. So this week, or late last week, they announced that their 1/6 Ultimate Window Scale Death Star diorama was shipping. This is the one with the 40-inch TV inside of it. And that one, I think he said he had a few units left. It sold really quick, but it's priced at $9.99. Again, this is a massive diorama. You can fit stormtroopers in there, Darth Vader,
And it comes
Leia,
with a
Tarkin,
TV.
and it comes with a TV,
That's insane.
which is just insane. Really good price for what you get. The Falcon cargo hold priced at $500. He showed almost like the final version. He added some LEDs inside the bench. Really, really cool piece. And that is at $4.99. You can pre-order these at jazzinkdioramas.com, and those are going to be coming out in the near future, but really, really cool cargo hold if you want to reenact the scene where Obi-Wan Kenobi is showing Luke the beginnings of his trainings in the Force. The True Scale X-34 land speeder.
Oh my god.
I want to spend some time here.
It's
So,
looking
in his
good.
first post about it, you could tell that the original was maybe a little underscaled, but he hadn't mentioned it. And it wasn't until I think his second post on the thing where he had realized why it looked so small. So the reason why is the Star Wars guidebook had mismeasured the full length of the craft to only include, I think, the last turbine on the back. And it didn't include the whole upper tier turbine, which extends back quite a bit. So everything was scaled based on that incorrectly. He posted a picture yesterday of the new prototype versus the old prototype, and this thing is like
It's
a
massive.
magnitude of scale larger. This is huge. Now, with this size increase there, I talked to him and he gave us some exclusive, Collecting Weekly exclusive coverage on this.
Wow.
So he had wrote me an email and asked if maybe we could share about this. So we were happy to do that. So he says, with regard to the land speeder, we have committed to the second, much larger prototype that is confirmed to be able to hold 2 figures in the front, so Obi-Wan and Luke. And we'll even have a secret compartment for the legs of C-3PO in the back, so you can literally recreate all the scenes in the movie. I might even have a surprise up my sleeve if all things work out. Maybe it's not a bad idea to tell people that with the larger size, we may have to increase the price for the new orders, so if people want to get in on the old price, they should not hesitate too long. I expect to have the potential new price by next week. So,
Shit.
again, this is...
Jump in.
This is for the-
This is where you jump in.
So
right
he wanted to clarify that for the people that have already ordered, they're locked
They're
in
set, yeah.
at that price, which is stand up, because this isn't like a hair bigger. This is like a
Almost
lot.
twice the size.
Maybe like 30%.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say, because not only is it longer,
It's also
now
wider.
it's wider.
Yeah. So
So-
maybe it's like twice the amount of materials.
Yeah.
And certainly that's more to paint, more to weather. So if you want to purchase this, again, it's right now, as of Tuesday night, the price is $350, jazzinkdioramas.com. I don't know what it's going to go up to, but this is a big increase in size, so, I don't want to speak for what it could be, but if you're on the fence, I would definitely say it's better to pre-order it. And he does very generous payment options
Yeah,
on
he
all
has-
this stuff.
I'll
Yeah, but
spin
it's
it
usually
out.
like $100 down. I think I might have to wait.
Ooh, I have to wait.
Because I'm starting my new job.
Come on, man.
You gotta
Put
get
the
it.
pens down. You got to get it.
You gotta
It's
get
gonna
it
be
now.
sitting on this table. It has.
I don't
to.
think you have to do $100 down.
I thought that's what he said.
I don't know. I'll be honest. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure he said that in the podcast where you interviewed him.
He could have said that, but I'm just saying, like, I don't know for sure right now. But I would check, because I think that diorama is a little bit smaller than a lot of his other ones. So I would double check what the payment schedules are like. But
Yeah.
this is certainly something that if you're a fan of A New Hope, which I know you love that film, like this will never be made again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you like this stuff, if you like the price of $350,
I just don't know where I would display it.
dude, this is the piece that you make space for.
Yeah.
You get
You
get
can-
one of those bookshelves that I got. Those are like $30.
That's true.
That'd be a nice display right there. Even you could stack them two deep. You know what I'm saying? To give you a little bit more width, I guess depth. But yeah, this is a really cool thing. And like I said, he said that he may have a really cool surprise in store. Maybe I'll share with you guys off camera. But it's
Oh no, you
no,
have to.
no.
Now you have to.
I'm just kidding. He hasn't told me.
Oh,
But,
it's like,
Oh,
like an
man.
extra set of legs for 3PO.
It's the 3D printed in there.
Right. So the thing is, like in the movie, like in all the reference shots, there's no place for C-3PO to put his legs,
Yeah, just
and there's a little compartment in the real model that, like, I guess like the hatch opens and he can put his legs in there. So he's including both the option to have it flat topped where there's no gap if you just want Luke in there, or you can take that part off to put C-3PO's legs in there. And he also has a video, I think, on his YouTube to show you if you really want to modify your C-3PO, how to do it. It's just dremeling parts of the legs. And of course, it'll never look right after that, but you also have a fucking awesome C-3PO riding dirty in this
yeah, just buy
X-34.
3POs.
So, really, really cool
Buy-
stuff.
Did you
But,
say just buy 2 3POs?
Yeah, if you have one, buy them.
That's like betting that a lot of people are just gonna go out and buy a second one.
Well, you know, I mean, it just depends on
There's two Vaders.
I mean, that's
two
true.
really good Vaders. Okay.
One
Put some
really
respect
good
on it.
Vader and one like
Wow.
it's
That hurts my soul.
it's not as
a little
cool as
harsh.
mine Vader.
So check out jazzinkdioramas.com. Really cool stuff, and you can bring your collection to life with Jazz Ink Dioramas. Look at that residual sponsor tag right
Dude,
there.
it's super cool, but I am very excited to talk about this next bit.
About Molecule 8?
Yes.
Okay, so in my first iteration of Collecting Weekly, I harped on Molecule
That
8.
was the first
In my,
episode.
in my second iteration, I harped on them a lot. The third iteration, the first episode was harping on them.
Yeah.
But they haven't had a lot happen since our first episode. They've been kind of radio silent. Now, in England, shout out to Ian, our Sutton collector, Sutton wing of Collecting Weekly, which, by the way, Ian, the care package is complete. I'm mailing it, I think tomorrow if I can wake up early enough. But you're gonna get some Texas love
Got some
from
good
Texas
stuff
with
in
love.
there.
Yeah, we don't want to ruin it. Let's.
Ian, let me say, you were guaranteed to be like 80% more Texan after you get your care package.
Maybe
Yeah.
180% more.
Maybe
Texas.
180%.
Yeah.
But
True.
Ian, you have to promise us, my good friend, that you will film an unboxing. And likewise, he messaged me that his care package is ready for shipment.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
He's like, I'm
So-
not gonna ship it till they ship wine.
Right? Still a little salty over that Boston Tea Party. Those Americans any tea from this motherland. Really, really cool stuff. But Molecule 8 has folded, and there's a thing in England where you file to be dissolved.
Yes.
And essentially, the Crown owns the funds of this company and anything to deal with it. And the filing was for March 19th, and it becomes official, I think, May 19th. And initially, I thought it was an April Fool's joke because the person had discovered the paperwork on the 1st. But some people have looked into some of the form numbers. These are all public records in England. And I think they said it's legitimate. So it's unfortunate. They were making Wonka, which was one of my Grail figures, and that's not going to happen. They also had some really weird licenses like the Tick. They obviously had the Lennon license, which was kind of weird. But it's a shame. I think we should have a moment of silence. Nah, fuck that.
No.
Molecule is fucking garbage.
They fucked over so many artists.
So many artists, so many collectors have been affected by this. Frankly, the thing was, like, they asked for a lot of these pre-orders to be paid in full up front.
That's crazy.
You're at this point way beyond 180 days of PayPal protection. I would not be surprised if a lot of people were out of a good amount of money over this stuff. The thing that always struck me as odd is they would promise these really cool things, like Wonka. They're like, oh, to include the golden ticket, the Oompa Loompa, this and that, the everlasting gobstopper, like a 6-year-old
An
Loompa.
additional Oompa Loompa.
No, just one.
Well, that's what I meant. Like, you get a figure and then another fucking figure.
Well, that's what they did with Lennon. They gave you the Lennon, and they gave you a whole another 3 outfits for him.
Yeah,
But
three
okay,
outfits,
anyways,
not a
we're
figure.
getting lost on semantics here. But then they would slowly cut. So they would say, oh, well, the Oompa Loompa is no longer included. Oh, and then the thing was really odd. Oh, we can't make the everlasting gobstopper. It's like, that's the easiest part to make. It's just a little mold and a little bit of paint. And they would slowly cut things, but the price, of course, is still the price that you paid, even though you're
So they
getting
like
less.
way over.
They're fucking garbage, dude. I'm
Garbage company.
I'm super glad this happened.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Sure.
was pretty invested in this company failing, and I hate to say it, but it's just like, the thing is, like, this company came in with this elitist attitude, we're going to revolutionize the game, we're going to make these amazing figures, fucking screwed over Kay Kim over her beautiful Lennon sculpt, stole the sculpt, never paid her the full amount that they owed her, and then just completely obliterated the sculpt into what it ended up being. And
That's so bad.
it's, oh god, I can.
It was an awful figure.
It is.
I watched some reviews.
I
on
see
it,
a lot of
was
people that try to really upsell it as a good figure, and if you like it, you like it. That's fine.
The only good thing about it is the guitar, which I want from it.
It's not that impressive with guitar. I think your guitar I actually like yours better.
I don't know. It just has that cool like strap. It's really
Yeah.
pretty.
So that is the thing. Jesse, you are inspired. You inspired me last week, and I inspired you this week. So we'll let you talk about.
The minis.
Yes.
I want to call them the minis. I don't know, the little mini posters. I love them.
I
Did
gave
you
him.
make some for him?
Yeah. So I gave him. He came to my house. He
I
was
asked
blown
him for
away.
something.
Well, hang on. He was blown away, and yeah, we'll get
Oh,
to
you
that.
do like
Yeah.
We'll get to that. So, I gave you one because you're like, this is really cool. I was like, yeah, take it home, tell me what you think about it. And he had taken home one of the Jurassic Park mini posters, and I'll let you take the story over from there.
I put it up on my DTOF, and I freaking love it. I've seen people in their DTOFs, they'll have like the DVD or the Blu-ray of the film. Yeah, you do that. So people do that, but I think this is like a step up because
this is cool.
you could, it's cooler. You can choose your own like graphic, and I think that's freaking amazing.
Yeah, because for me, so the reason why I was inspired by this to do this is one, what you said, but two, it's like, Dean, I know you know about this, but like for Blade Runner, there's like 8 billion covers, and it's like the ones that I really want are super expensive.
Right.
So I can just print out any cover that I want from anything. And this ODST here, they didn't have a Japanese ODST, so I just like translated Orbital Shock Trooper in Japanese and then did a little effect on over.
Yeah, why are they all in Japanese? Like, is that thing?
So I have
the aesthetic and the.
So I like the Blade Runner aesthetic, and I have that Jurassic Park T-shirt, and then I got a Jaws T-shirt that my wife bought me in Japanese, and I was like, man, this is dope. And so I already had those two, and I was like, well, let's just fucking do all of them like that.
Because the theme is cool.
It looks cool.
It's really
like,
cool.
I just like the whole Blade Runner, like, Japanese text aesthetic, and, you know, there's some really cool Japanese posters that are kind of obscure, like the Return of the Jedi Luke with the blue lightsaber.
Right.
Fucking dope. And I just like the way it looks. Like,
It looks really good.
yeah.
So you translated this part right here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because when I translated ODST, for some reason, I don't know if they have Ds in Japan or whatever, but it was just a 3-character OST. And I was like, that's stupid. That's going to bother the hell out of me. So I think the translation is like atmospheric drop,
I mean,
storm soldier or something like that.
Officer.
Yeah.
it's probably better that you translate it yourself because, I mean, you could find this picture and it could say, like, stupid-ass game on it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
You
so,
never know.
So initially I had done it by going to Walmart and getting them printed, and then which is obviously not super legal, but I just did like the instant prints, so like no one technically ever saw them. And then I would print out like 10 pictures of my daughter and just shuffle them in and like hope no one fan them out. And that worked for a while, but I found that, you know, I'd get a print and it's like, shit, doesn't even look good, so I have to go back and then reprint more pictures to hide them, and it's just too much of a hassle.
I didn't know all of that stuff.
So I printed some from home last night, and they turned out great. I have a video I filmed for our YouTube channel. I'll put it up live tomorrow.
Follow Collecting Weekly on YouTube,
YouTube.
guys.
Yeah.
But Jesse, so tell me your story.
So
this
when I
this
heard-
fool.
So, because you had told me that you had said the story last week, and you went to Walmart, you picked these up, you printed these at Walmart. That's all I knew. So I was like, all right, cool. I'm gonna go pick some of these plastic bits. They're like, what, like 80 cents. So picked up a few of those, and then I was like, I'm just gonna see how much it's gonna cost me to get these things printed. And I go up to the kid, and he's real young, and I was like showing him pictures of your whole set, and he's like, oh, well, we can't do those. They're copyrighted photos.
Yeah, literally the first screen you get says, do you agree not to do what I do? And
Yeah.
Jesse goes up and asks the kid.
And then, but the older lady next to him was like, really? Whatever, I will do it anyways. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna come by when you're here.
There you go.
And she was super cool, but the kid was like, copyright, blah blah blah. And I was like, oh, my bad, I didn't really.
So Dean is excited about this also, and okay, so you're texting me and you're like, oh, here's 40 Blade Runner posters.
For you.
But I'm like, but then you're like, pick the ones you like. So I'm like, okay. And then you start telling me that you want posters, and you send me more pictures of other things. And I'm like, how many posters do you want? You're like, no, I just want one. And
I
I'm
just
like,
want 2. I want one for Sucker Punch. I want for.
so that can happen. We can do that. But the way you were texting me, it was like you wanted me to. The way that I thought you were texting me was like,
for
dude,
all
like
of
I'm
these.
not like fucking go to Walmart and print them yourself. Like I'm not fucking Kinko's over here.
Okay.
We're burning through ink,
Don't make me
man.
bring up the fucking magic cards right now, you fucking guy. And the Jurassic Park truck, okay? So you better watch
That's what I
yourself.
said. I'll happily print
You're
them
on
when I get more
thin
ink.
ice right now.
But the way that you came at me, you were like, "Here's 80 Blade Runner pictures."
Because I know he's gonna print one for Blade Runner because he has the figure coming.
Yeah.
So I was like, dude, I have.
So I'm
20
gonna jump on that too.
I was like, I have 24 of my favorite posters that I've collected from the internet saved. I sent him all of like the best of the best. I was like, pick whichever one you like, you know.
Yeah.
If you don't have one already.
Yeah.
And then I was like, but can you print some for me? And he was like, okay. So I sent him, I think it was like 6 for Blade Runner.
right.
Or for Ghost in the Shell. And then like 2 for Sucker Punch. He's like, fuck, how many do you want? I was like, I can't pick which Ghost in the Shell one.
Mm-hmm.
But I really just want 2. One for Ghost in the Shell, one for Sucker Punch.
But you could tell from mine, it's hard to interpret how many you wanted. I'm like, damn, man, these are like 97 cents a frame. I'm not buying you 40 fucking frames.
How much are these?
Yeah, these are like.
So
80
okay,
cents.
so
Oh, are they?
yeah, they're about $1.97 for the
I mean, I'll
acrylic,
pay you for your trouble. I'm not saying
and
do
then
this shit for
and
free.
then the print, you know,
But
you
you're
get at
already
Walmart.
doing it.
Yeah, so I got to get more ink because we were already low, and then printing a bunch last night killed my ink. But
It's usually cheaper.
but see these ink. No, I'm not gonna get a new printer because I have to set it up on the freaking clicky thing and the Wi-Fi. It's just too much
no,
work.
you just take
Too
it
much
out.
work.
No. Oh yeah, buy new ink. But okay, so these guys are clever though. They sell you the ink, right? Inside the ink, there's 50 of these freaking pictures. So you print on the pictures and you waste all your ink. It's clever. We need to think of something like that for collecting weekly.
What do you mean?
Like they give you free like blank pictures, right? And like maybe you can print
Oh.
like 30 pictures and then you're out of ink. You have to buy another set and then you get more pictures.
So you get the
So they
little,
basically kind of training you to print and use the ink, and then you come back and buy more ink. It's smart.
that is smart.
Huh.
Damn.
I don't know
bitches.
about that. Our printer actually tells when it's out of ink, and then it ships us new ink. So
Yeah, but you're rich. You could just. I'm like, damn, it's $45. I don't know when I can drop this.
Yeah, so
I
I'm gonna.
never bought a
I'm just
printer.
gonna send you money in your PayPal and be like, hey, bring me this.
Yeah.
When
Bring
I
me
was
this.
in
the
college,
printer that we used forever was from my mom. So hey, shut up.
when I was in college,
Unlimited.
I had bought like a $30 printer,
Uh-huh.
but the ink cartridges were like $80,
Yeah.
and I would just buy a new printer because the printers were like $45.
Yeah.
So I ended up with like 3 printers in my room by the end of the semester.
That's awesome. Man, printer ink is such a scam.
But anyway,
It
so video will be up on the channel showing how I printed some of these posters, and obviously, like, don't be that guy that's gonna sell them copywritten stuff on the internet and get us in trouble. Don't be an idiot. But these are really cool ways to accent the collection because I had 8 cubes, and there's some people that make smaller versions of these. I don't really name any names, but they're kind of expensive. There's some people on eBay that also make like different
Fuck it.
backdrops. And
Just
so
call them out like that.
they're like $45 for a backdrop of your DTOF, and they're cool, but it's like, you know, for $1.80-ish, like,
Mhm.
you know, you can print any number of these.
And what made you come up with this again? It was it
I
because
fucker, I
like
just explained the. I was explaining for the last 3 minutes.
He wasn't listening.
The cost. Okay, so
The
but,
co- oh, my bad,
but also, I had mentioned when I set up the cabin, I was like, man, I'm really excited to display my Blu-rays alongside these collectibles, and those lasted for like all of 7 seconds, and my daughter went in the room and started grabbing all the steelbooks and throwing them bitches around. So I was like,
there we go. That's
Putting
the
them-
part.
Putting them back. Putting them
I
back.
want the Ghost in the Shell steelbook so bad,
Huh?
but it's the only steelbook I've ever wanted.
Really?
It's just cool. I sent you the picture that's on it, but
Oh, okay.
I was like, damn.
So, the Seth, you had a segment that you wanted to talk about for a little bit.
Yeah, I want to talk about Sideshow's new like
Thing.
thing.
I know exactly
Their
what
new
you're
like
talking about.
size comparison photos. It bugs the crap out of me, and I don't know why. It's such a stupid thing, but like I'm ordering what I think are awesome figures. You know, I'm sure y'all would agree because y'all order the same figures.
Damn right we do.
And then you see like these Sideshow photos and they're like holding like the figure all awkwardly
Like a
this
fucking
hand.
pizza.
Like this.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why? I mean, I guess before it was a little apple, and that's not a great way to show off size either.
Yeah, like how
but-
big is an apple? And then again,
But I
like,
feel
whose
like they
hands are
also
these?
don't get the scale
Yeah.
right at all.
No, I mean
No, they
it
don't.
looks awkward. You know that's not the real size.
It's like, dude, you're gonna have Thanos standing in your fucking hand. His, what do you call it? Stance. His feet are probably wider than your fucking hand.
it just
They
looks.
have him in this weird. It's like it's not
Yeah,
possible.
It looks stupid. It makes the figures look really, really bad.
I need to look this up right now.
I will.
Look it up. It's
Yeah,
terrible.
keep the big.
I thought I was the only person who thought it was dumb.
Well, they
Thank you,
used to have
thank
it
you.
where it was like a guy in front of a table.
Yeah,
It was like
yeah.
the thing was on the table.
Well, I feel like that's
And
better.
that's not that helpful because I'm pretty short. Dean's kind of tall. Like,
Like 6
like
foot.
you know, like who's the guy in the picture? Like,
I
No,
mean, I
what's
get,
his
I get
scale?
your point. He could be like, 7 foot tall for all we know.
Right.
You know,
I think you got
but
Shaquille O'Neal's hands with Thanos in that fucking.
I don't own a sideshow shirt. That's not fair.
I mean, like, how do you? I think the
This
best
is
thing would
like-
just be like a picture of the figure on a ruler. It's
Just
like,
like-
some
Yeah.
some frame of reference.
but
that
it's
we
just
all-
it's terrible looking. It makes it look, and it's always like the first photo they show. You're like,
Yeah,
oh,
it's
look
always
at
that
this.
hand like
And it's
this.
just like awkward. I
Yeah,
can't
but
even
it doesn't
bend
I don't
my
see his
hand that way.
Where's his hand at?
It's on the newer ones. I don't think it's on the older ones.
Oh,
I
Yeah,
will
just
show
go
you.
to the.
Keep the big going.
The
I'm gonna
new
look this
thing.
up.
I feel like they were always there, but they were like hidden. Those
Yeah,
hand pictures.
like it was always like the last
Oh!
one.
Oh! Okay, I see what you're
Look
talking
at it. It's so bad. It's
Especially
not
on the
good.
Thanos.
Look
Wait,
at
I
that.
gotta look at Thanos. Wait, the new Thanos or the old
The
Thanos?
new
New
one.
Thanos.
The armored one, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, it looks silly. Even with the Iron Man, it looks silly. But especially with the Thanos, because it's like he's such a big figure that, like, literally.
It looks
Oh,
really, really bad.
Man, that is. Oh my gosh, we got Thanos in the palm. We need to Photoshop the Collecting Weekly.
Logo on
Yeah,
her
yeah,
hand.
no. We gotta put Yost's land speeder on the hand.
Right? You gotta get him to take a photo with the land speeder like this.
Yeah, right. That is hilarious.
I feel like
That's awesome.
we should take the Collecting Weekly logo now and do it like the hand photo. We should do that.
Maybe. I'm gonna have to
Oh,
find
that'd be
it.
good, right? Just do that.
Yeah.
New. I guess Sideshow's all about the hands lately. If you look at their newer.
Look,
figures.
every photo has the hand in it. It's so annoying. I can't
It's
stand it.
if it's always been but I feel like I don't know.
That
I
is
feel like
so odd.
They
I know what
hired
you
a
mean,
hand.
too.
I feel like they hired a hand model just for that,
Yeah.
just to put their hand everywhere.
That is so.
Or there was someone there in the office like, look at my pretty hands. We should be taking pictures of these hands.
Right.
Like, all
Everyone
right,
hold your hands up. We're
Susan
gonna-
wants to take pictures of her
I
hands.
wonder how they got that job.
Yeah, there you go.
That's some other
Yeah.
hand work, huh?
A hand job.
Yeah. Jesse, take it away with the DC report.
Oh my god, tomorrow. So I've been
Dude,
super
do you
hyped.
have tickets?
No,
Can we go see it together?
oh, we can.
Please?
We can.
Hold my hand.
Oh, hold your hand. Hand models. Man, I'm super stoked for the trailer tomorrow for Joker. That's gonna be crazy. I'm in like
should
that
use Manny's barber.
I
small.
didn't.
Huh?
I didn't know you were talking about Joker. I thought you were talking about
Shazam.
Shazam.
But that
Oh, I'm gonna
too.
see it on Friday actually.
Oh, tomorrow's the 3rd, isn't it?
Yes,
I
it feels
thought
like
I thought
today,
it was the
right?
4th, yeah.
Wait a second. Hang on.
Both of those things.
The fucking hand that they're using, I just put human hand PNG.
Oh my.
That's the same fucking
God.
hand!
Yeah.
Susan.
Thanks to our amazing investigative work.
I think it's the same hand. I'm pretty sure it's the same
Hey,
hand.
Dude,
looks
this
like-
episode's gonna be called Detective Zach.
Yeah. I gotta
Holy
compare these together
shit.
fucking over. Oh man, that is. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, no,
Okay,
no.
go
I'm
through
still,
these
I'm,
reports.
no, no, I'm still laughing at that hand.
But the Joker trailer comes out
That-
tomorrow, right?
Yeah, it comes out tomorrow. I'm super stoked. I'm in the small class that thinks that like he's gonna do, I think, a better job than Heath Ledger. I think he.
Wow.
Wow.
I think he's that good of an actor. I feel like you're like.
I will say this.
Mhm.
I totally agree with you. I think
I think he jumps in when he does roles. And it's not gonna be like.
I'm actually not even gonna say this on the podcast. I don't want to offend anybody, but I will tell you later.
Okay.
But I'm with you.
I feel like he. It's
He's-
gonna be a
he's-
different Joker from that movie, but he's
Yeah.
gonna bring that intensity that it's like, oh man,
Heath
what a
Ledger
Joker.
kind of jumped into that role and acted kind of crazy.
Uh-huh.
Fucking Joaquin Phoenix lives that shit every day. He's actually kind of insane.
Yeah.
Like he's a wild guy.
I believe
So I
it.
feel like he's really gonna bring something.
I'm getting goosebumps because like I feel like it's
Yeah.
even that small short clip of him smiling, that little teaser, like that was way better than anything that.
Oh my god.
Oh my
It was
It's
god.
the same
Same
hand.
hand.
It's the same
It
hand. I
was
just
the
compared
same
it on
hand.
over. We have our album artwork now. We're gonna go viral with this.
Oh, we
Also,
should
this
take
is
It's a stock. It's
We
a
should
stock
take a
photo, right?
large, we
Purple
should take a
tunnel.
large picture of Steph and just like Photoshop the wall. Out of it, put it on the
I'll do it. I'll stand up there. Put me on the hand and then put me on the Facebook page.
I don't know how we would even do that.
Well, right here, we have the lighting right here.
Yeah.
Just set up on this wall. It's clear. It's a clear wall.
Jesse will take it because he's an extra Photoshop guy.
Yeah, I can do
Photo
Photoshop.
taker.
Photo taker. That's awesome. But so yeah, Joker stuff. But Shazam's gonna be fun. I heard like it's such a wild ride and it's fun, and I'm ready for that too.
I wanna see it
so
on
we
Friday.
don't have our tickets yet. What kind
Okay, that's what I was. Yeah, I wanted to go see it.
We can just jump in any day because we were one of those couples that was like, let's just go see it. No
See?
tickets, fuck
We
it.
don't need a ticket to go see it.
Must be nice.
Dude, okay. No.
No
'cause
kids.
Endgame tickets went on sale today.
Uh
I woke up for work at 8 a.m.
huh.
Actually, I woke up at 7 and I was getting my day done before I had to go to work. So I texted my buddy. I was like, "Hey, tickets are live.
Uh-huh.
Get them." 8:30, he messaged me. He's like, "Did you get the tickets?" I was like, "No, dude. I told you to get them." And he was like, "Well, where do you want to see it?" And I was like, "Embassy." And he's like, "Okay." And I was like, "You know what? I'm off until 1. I got a text that said I'd have to come to work. So I was like, I'll just do it because I know I'll be at work." He's like, "All right, cool." So I go on Fandango. Everything before 10:15 was sold out.
Wow.
So I got tickets for 11 p.m. on that Thursday.
Ooh, that's right.
I
Yeah, 'cause
bought
it's a
my
3-hour
tickets
movie.
for Friday morning at 10 a.m. because I mean I'm not gonna fucking stay up till 2 in the morning. I gotta get a sitter, all that stuff.
Kids.
So I don't
You're
mind.
technically unemployed, so
I'm not unemployed.
I'm just kidding.
I have a job. And so I'm just so amazed we found a fucking thing. Because I was like, there's no way they would do that.
it can't
We're
be
still on the
this
hand.
It can't be that easy.
And it was
Human
literally
hand.
just typed in human hand PNG, not like display hand.
It was the first fucking picture. God damn it, Sideshow.
Oh, that's hilarious. Royalty free.
That's the markup that we're paying right
Yeah,
now. That,
so they can-
that Photoshop work.
We have to talk about the finals here now. Actually, let's talk.
Oh wait,
We'll finish the ticket
I
thing. So
still
people
don't-
are scalping the tickets though.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Well, I still wanted to jump back into Shazam really quick.
Sure.
But yeah, someone sent us a screenshot. People are selling the tickets on eBay.
It's like $500
For like-
off runs,
yeah.
stuff like that.
250. It's like
Just
guys,
wait a week.
That's crazy.
or an afternoon. Like
Yeah.
just watch watch the
Or-
next day.
So
Be like me and wait the entire month. I mean, you'll get an anytime. Because
Well, the
you
thing
know,
is, I
have kids.
was kind of concerned about the ticket thing because I was like, well, I mean, I guess like if it's that bad, I'll just buy my tickets today. And I go online, and I mean, there's no wait, and I got a really good 2 seats for Friday, which, I mean, if it was
at
a 2,
10 a.m. though, most people are at work at 10 a.m.
most people that I know personally that saw both Infinity War and Civil War took the day off to watch it again on Friday. So there's actually a lot of people in the theaters on
Yeah.
Friday.
I feel like this whole like you can't get a ticket is like people like in LA.
Yeah.
You're gonna have
like the
a hard
TCL
time.
Chinese theater.
Yeah.
Which is,
Let me know because I'll be starting my new job by then, so I won't have work on Friday. So I want to go with you and watch it again the next day.
well, I already bought my tickets though.
So
So you have to buy a ticket.
is it reserved seating?
Yeah.
Oh.
Let me know how the movie is, and I will see it sometime within the month.
I'll see it when he sees it because we're like super late with
Okay,
movies.
back,
you wanna
to,
get back
back to Shazam.
Yeah.
So in the trailer,
Uh-huh.
they clearly show a batarang.
Yeah, they do.
Now, they started working on this movie before they were like, no, these movies aren't connected anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Now, is this like a standalone movie? Is it in the same universe? Is the Joker in the same universe?
Ooh.
Like,
I don't even know.
Because-
I think they might reference like maybe the Batman and the Superman that we know, like the current ones, a little bit, but I don't
And then
know.
that's
You think
it?
it's like open ended, like
Yeah.
Man of Steel, like how they had like the Wayne Tech satellite.
Could be.
you know?
Yeah, that's true.
So they're like, hey, these characters do exist. Obviously,
You might just see back of the heads and like
Yeah.
a cape waving, but you won't see like actors per se. So
Yeah.
it could be like that. That's what
I
I
feel
think.
like we'll at least see Henry Cavill.
Yeah.
Maybe.
But, man, I'm still pissed off about Affleck. Remember how excited I was the other day? I misread an article.
Yeah.
And I
he
was
was
like,
like,
oh
oh
my
my god,
And
Affleck's back, and I'm like, what?
And
the
then
hell are
they
you talking
don't
about?
drop it. What's the guy's name that plays Cyborg?
The black guy, I don't know.
I can't think of his name. But I just read an article like,
Fish or something.
yeah, Ray Fisher. Is
Ray
it
Fisher. Hey,
I just
got
read an article like 2 or 3 days ago that he was like, yeah, he could come back for Justice League 2. And they're like, no, he can't. He's done.
Oh, damn.
Just let it go. Stop talking about it. He's not
Let it
coming
go.
back. It's sad. I want to go home and cry because I liked Affleck as Batman.
Dude.
Yeah.
I loved him.
I think I like him so much because I thought I was going to hate him. I
Yeah.
remember when they were like, Affleck's going to be the new Batman. I was like, this fucking Jiggly over here is going to be
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boycott Batman.
And then
I
he was
watched
like
it
a
and I was like,
badass Batman.
holy shit,
He
this
was
guy's
beast,
awesome.
and like it sucks that he couldn't like find a way to make his own Batman movie because he was gonna bring back like Ironhead Studios, that whole old suit because that Justice League suit I wasn't about it. But now he just couldn't find a way to make it work. I'm like,
Yeah.
what do you mean?
It's
I can
probably-
make it
it's
work.
probably studios, man.
Hire
That's
me.
what happened with what's his name? Who did the first Avengers movie?
That was
The guy who did Firefly. I forget his name.
Oh, Joss Whedon.
Joss Whedon. They fucked with him in Age of Ultron so much. They're like, you need to do this and that and this and that.
Yeah.
And he was like, let me just make my fucking movie.
Yeah.
Right.
And after that, he was like, I'm out. And
I don't know. I'm kind of pissed at him though, because he also gave us that crap that was Justice League. So.
True.
It was his fault.
Let's take a.
Which is crazy because both those Avengers movies are so good.
Yeah.
I think it's studios. They just
That's what I
put
mean.
Yeah.
too
Like,
much.
they're like,
There's too many cooks. There's too many cooks.
I feel like the part of the problem is DC and Warner Brothers. Like they sold out to what AT&T. You know, there's been so many studio head changes. They really just killed the universe before it could even get started.
yeah, fucking
Yeah.
sucks, dude.
Let's talk about the finals for March Madness.
Oh
we
my
have
God.
the
I
DX11
could
in the
not be
Western
more
Conference
disappointed.
and the Hulkbuster, which I think the Hulkbuster has kind of blown through everybody at this point.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is this still up? I don't remember if I'm.
Yeah, it closes next Monday. Or I think Tuesday it closes. The
It's on
vote.
auxiliary.
I
And,
forget what my first choice
Make sure you go to
was.
the Facebook page, Collecting Weekly Auxiliary, guys.
Yeah, that's a group, and so
They're gonna
Yondu
work.
actually almost beat DX11, and I think maybe perhaps Yondu might be the better figure. But again, this is a democratic process. Our personal thoughts don't matter. But enough people thought that DX11 was the winner of that matchup.
I honestly feel like maybe it's like that whole like.
I think people might be a little nostalgic about it.
Yeah, that's what the word I was looking
And
for.
I did a tale of the tape, which I thought was pretty cool, like with the figures side by side, like a UFC match, and you know, there's a lot of things on the tail of the tape. And so what I did was, I think it was like the year it was released, the retail price, the market price, the height, and then the price per inch, which I thought was clever. Because all these, I would like to tell the tape, they're like, this guy's calves are this big, and it's like, who the fuck
I'm
cares? Like,
fairly certain I did vote. I remember this question.
okay. Yeah, so the voting will conclude next, I think it's Tuesday, and we'll announce the winners on our podcast. It'll go live Wednesday of next week, and then Wednesday night we'll announce the winner. We'll record the winner, obviously, but we'll announce it on Facebook, the winner of the contest.
Yeah.
And the way to win that contest was if you participated in round one, you pick out of all 64 figures who you thought would win. And let's say 3 people got it right, we'll do a drawing with those 3 people. And,
I don't know.
I wanna-
Did anybody actually get? Do you know if anybody has like? Pick the winner?
well, the winner's not.
I
announced
mean,
yet.
like close enough. Like, cause I know I'm out because I picked Yondu.
Yeah.
Well,
do you know
there's
if
still,
anybody's-
there's still people that
there's
have
still
picked
people-
Joker and
yeah.
people that have
That's
picked.
what I was asking. Like, is
So if it comes down, I'm almost certain there's people that picked Joker. I know for
Okay.
sure. I think Hulkbuster was the number one that most people picked. I think it was like 4 or 5 people.
Can you
That's a
see
weird
how
figure.
people voted? Like,
Yeah, I can see what people voted.
Okay.
I can see who voted.
Okay,
and how
because
people
I have a bone to pick with PJ.
there just call?
And anyway,
He
so
says, wait, I want to read one of his comments.
okay.
He says, I would love for something to take down the Hulkbuster, and if there's any figure that could do it, it's this, the Joker. Again, because sentiment. Although, objectively, Hulkbuster is the better figure. So I hope you voted for the Hulkbuster,
Ooh.
not the Joker, because that's the whole point of this.
That's true.
Is to vote objectively. But then right here, it's like, sentimentally, he wants the Joker to beat it. So it's
I
like,
don't.
dude, you better have voted for the
I don't know how
Hulkbuster.
Hulkbuster made it this far, and I own the figure. I love the figure. I adore the figure. It has its issues.
Yeah, but every figure has issues. That's what I was telling Manny, R.I.P. Because
Well,
I
not
was,
R.I.P. He's not dead.
well, he's not on the show. I was telling him, I don't even know if he's in our lives anymore. But anyway,
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I might pre-order the Mark 85 because it'll be the last suit that Tony wears.
That's what I want to do. Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, but you don't even like the Mark 50. You don't like the hips. Why would you order this? I had the same thing. I'm like, okay, if I didn't get every figure I had an issue with, I wouldn't own a figure.
Yeah.
Not every figure is perfect. Every figure has an issue or a flaw. So
like
it's
hella
like,
with the neck thing.
Yeah.
On the shoulder shit.
what happened?
Nothing.
Oh, Zach just looked at me like
I'll tell you when we
some
go out there.
hot goss.
Yeah, I'll tell you. We'll spill that
I mean,
hot
I
tea
get
out the
that. I
air.
get that every figure has its issues, but I just feel like Hulkbuster has like, it's like some big issues. Like you can't really pose the legs. I don't know why. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm just, I guess, being critical.
man,
I really
PJ,
wanted Yondu to be up there.
Dean is calling you out.
No,
Uh,
I'm writing a message to
Let's no,
myself.
no, I'm just saying.
Tell Jesse
Let's
that.
take a quick break and then we'll wrap this up with Custom Corner and a few.
The best custom corner that will ever be. by the
Yeah.
way.
Those were bold words.
Actually, yes, I agree.
Oh.
Let's save it here.
I was like, you do?
Let's go right back into it.
That's not much of a break. I want to-
Shut up, Jesse.
I didn't know we were getting any second break. I
Oh,
wanted
dude,
to
I
have
know
that.
It's just a
exactly what
station.
you mean right here.
Hang on. Damn it, Jesse. I gotta fucking.
You fucking gang.
Sorry.
Been on this podcast for like. No, I'm just kidding. Been on this podcast for like 10 episodes to fuck it up.
He does.
All right, you guys ready? 3, 2. So we are back from break. So let's talk about Custom Corner. I'm gonna start with Jesse's because I think we're gonna spend a while on yours.
Yeah, mine's clearly the better figure.
Of course.
Jesse,
No,
let's
it
talk
really
about
is.
what you got.
So, did you guys finally? I mean, it's done. I think that head sculpt's perfect. It's
Yeah.
a Dr. Manhattan.
That's
Like
crispy.
it's crispy. It's so good. It looks like he just jumped out of the comic book.
Yeah.
Like you see that the head fits perfectly. You're like, wow.
Looks good. I think once you
It
get the
was
dye job done and the little beepy attached, I
Well,
think
it's
gonna
not
be
little.
complete.
It's a
It's a big old.
it's a
Good
Manny
size.
size.
Jesse's
piece
an
of-
expert.
Yeah, I am.
Dude, I like that stand.
Yeah,
It's cool. It's like a
I think it was
robot
$7
arm.
from KB.
KG hobby.
KG. That's the one.
Nice.
That's awesome.
It's almost like a flight stand.
And
but
it
not.
comes with tons of other like bits and parts and everything.
Does it?
Yeah, it's like $7, less than that.
Dude, I'm so disappointed. Sorry, really quick.
No, go ahead.
I got the Mark 45 Iron Man,
Uh-huh.
and it comes with a display base and a flight stand.
Right.
And I was
Doesn't
like, oh,
really
I have
work.
such a cool pose idea. Does not work.
It's just heavy.
Dude,
Yeah.
it's like
it is hard to pose that figure.
it doesn't clip anywhere except like right under the articulation of the waist. So his feet are almost touching the ground anyway. And it's like this
Yeah.
is trash.
Like,
I'm sorry.
A kind of good pose on mine, but it's hard to pose.
Oh, send me a picture. All right, sorry.
Well, I mean that's it. I mean he's a clearly naked figure. I mean it's just a paint job of the body, hands, and
and you're
in the
gonna do
head.
that today or like?
yeah, I'm probably tomorrow. Like right after the gym, I'm gonna work on it.
Because the
and it
color's
should be
really
done.
good. It's just
Yeah.
like in
So-
the muscle.
Some of the patches,
So
yeah.
the reason is he's all patchy is I wanted to get the base color down so they can start in paint because I didn't know how long paint was gonna be.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
Yeah.
so I was like, I can do a quick base and this is the color. It's not gonna change. I can do details later.
Are you
Yeah.
gonna go in almost with like a darker blue?
Yes, in the
Okay,
in the
cool.
crevices
That'd
and
be
the,
awesome.
and the striations and all that. Oh yeah, of course.
It's definitely turning out really good though. My wife finished it last night, and hopefully we'll have an update on
She's-
this one.
Yeah, she's amazing.
And I'll give a little context on your figure, Dean. This is about a year after we started this project. Like today is about a year after we started this
Yeah,
project.
just
I think maybe a hair over. I think we started in March of last year.
did we? I thought it was
Yeah.
like something like October. Or something.
No. Well, I think we had the first ideas to make this
Oh.
figure, and I think you bought some parts. But so this is your Ron Swanson.
Yes.
And this is a combination of my wife. So I guess both these were painted by my wife. My wife's
Let's get her
artwork,
in here.
my
Shout
figure
out
modding,
the wife. Yeah.
my figure modding, the Christmas gift that I got you for last year, and a lot of work on your end, acquiring parts to make this figure. I got this quote from a guy named Hunter McGarry, and this is a Nugo sculpt of Ron Swanson. I think it was a really small run that he did. I'll let you take over the rest of it because I needed to provide some context because I'm not sure if you knew the sculptor and everything like that. But
No, I did not know.
Okay, so in which Anugu has been really hot in the community for the loops that he's been making.
Dude, his
Some amazing figures.
Yeah, he has the awesome.
He has a Blade Runner Deckard sculpt that's really good.
I was gonna say his Indiana Jones ones are.
Yeah, that's
Second
some of
to
the ones
that.
that Ian has mentioned.
Yeah.
So I'll let you take it away and let's talk about it.
Yeah. So Zach surprised me with the head sculpts, cause I had my Andy.
Yeah, for a while you.
Burt Macklin,
Yeah.
Johnny Karate, Andy Dwyer,
Yeah.
same guy.
What?
And I had completed him a long time ago, and Zach knows I don't like figures alone on the shelf.
Mm-hmm.
And but Andy's so cool and funny, and I had the Chris Pratt head sculpt. I was like, I have to do this. So I had him like just like thrown in with I think Baby Doll from Sucker Punch.
Mhm.
And so Zach surprised me with this for Christmas, but like way ahead of time, obviously.
Yeah, this was, I think, October when we got the head. I think that's where we're getting October from. But you had already been working on this for a while.
Oh, okay, yeah. And he was like, hey, this is your Christmas gift. And this is a huge collaboration, so we had to do it really early. So I got this way before Christmas ever even happened. But,
God, that looks like...
The
yeah,
face
we
is on
tried
some
to
video?
Oh yeah.
We, get the little saxophone in here. So we got the head painted, and then I got a body, and then I had to track down some clothes that were Ron Swanson-esque. And somebody else that had worked on a Ron Swanson
Uh-huh.
had some extra parts, so I bought the parts from him, and we pieced this together. And it wasn't quite right, so I bought another shirt.
Yeah.
The whole thing.
And I remember it was actually one of our first episodes where you were on in this iteration, Dean, but we had ended up recording, I think, like on a Sunday, because this was before we had our schedule firmed, but we recorded, and like 3 days later you came back because we had made a huge mistake.
Oh, yeah, the Ron
Ron was way too tall.
way taller than
And your Andy was way too short.
Yeah.
And so we had to fix that, and
Yeah,
now they're scaled almost perfectly.
Yeah, it's almost like literally if you took like a screenshot, it's almost perfect.
Yeah.
I would dare to say it is perfect, but I'm sure if you went in there with minute details, like
Yeah.
micro measurements, they're off a little
Yeah.
bit.
They don't look off, I guess is what you're saying.
Yeah. And so we went over this in an episode or two ago where we made kind of like a DX.
Yeah.
Collection.
Ron Swanson, yeah, with
Ron
the shred
Swanson.
shoes and the saxophone,
Yeah,
And
I
the
found the
Pyramid
1/6
of Greatness.
saxophone for like $5.
which looks really good.
It's a little too big. I think it like if it was like this short, it'd be fine.
Yeah.
But it actually has a wooden reed on it, which I thought was funny. Like it's actually wood.
Jeez, it's awesome.
It has a little stand so it can sit next to him. And
So
Yeah.
where did you get these clothes?
I was gonna
These
say
are
that
just,
shirt, like he looks like.
So okay, so the shirt was. These are just you can buy them on any website that sells 1/6 clothes. But we had to pad the body, so we
Wow.
feel there's like
He
padding
looks-
in
he looks
there, and
Yeah.
we had to look up pictures of the actor with his shirt off to see his build, and we kind of modeled it from
yeah,
there.
because I was like, oh, we need to make him really pudgy, and
But he's actually
Like-
not that pudgy.
no,
I think in our heads, because the first one we made it, and we were like, this looks weird. Like, this does not look right. And then we looked at him, like, he has, like, some book where he's, like, on the cover where his shirt's off, and, like, he's actually not that overweight. And then we looked at some of the screenshots of the show, and we were able to adjust.
I think in the earlier seasons. he
Yeah,
had
I
that.
agree. But, man, I think my favorite part is my wife put, like, a gloss finish on the hair, because his hair's
I
always
was
real
just gonna
nice
say
and
it's shiny.
Yeah.
You got this nice gloss on the hair.
I just love the resting bitch face that he has. It's, like, perfectly
The whole
captured.
mustache
Dude,
and
she
everything.
got the eyes perfect.
Yeah.
That
Like,
was a clean figure, man.
Yeah, so this is Ron Swanson.
yeah, it's got his
Yeah,
watch.
you
There's
get
a
the
few more
watch.
things I want to add.
Yeah, so one day, Dean, we need to print the actual watch face and cut it out and then glue it onto his
Yeah.
watch. And
I want to get a gun that we need to paint gold,
yeah, we gotta paint
from
the
the
gold.
intro of the
yeah,
show.
yeah.
and then a cell phone. And I
Yeah.
think that'll be.
Yeah, and we know the cell phone too. It's the agent, the FBI Mulder
Yeah.
and Fox from X-Files. They have a similar phone. But man, this is such a cool figure, and the shoes are perfect too. Like, just everything
Yeah, we
about this
had-
figure.
Everything says I've seen the show like a few episodes. There's a few that are like yeah, right away. Like the body, it's him. Like there's no denying
Yeah.
it.
Oh, I love this figure. So I haven't seen it in like a long time, like since we finished it.
Yeah.
But
I haven't posted it. This is like the first like public
showing.
appearance.
Yeah.
People are gonna go crazy for it.
Yeah, I just wanted it to kind of be mine for a while. And,
Yeah.
Because like I said, people would start hijacking my indie posts, even though I'm pretty much the only one, except for like that initial person who did it.
Yeah.
I haven't seen a new one. So maybe on Tashi tonight I'll post my
Yeah.
shelf.
So
Oh, yeah, dude.
steal your idea, huh?
Yeah,
So-
but then it's like I'm the one that had it.
Yeah. So let's we're gonna,
Trademark it with the.
so this
Yeah.
this totally isn't an April Fool's or anything like that, but as far as the end of the show after Custom Corner, we normally ended on question of the week. Participation's kind of been on a downward slope, and this week we got no entries. And
What?
so Ian, he's been sick as a dog. That's what he told us.
Oh, is he?
But we're gonna cancel question of the week. I think at this point, I think we're good with that. This is totally not April
Why
Fool's
don't we
joke.
do question of the week just us?
Maybe. I didn't think of a question, so we'll think about that next week. But we'll think of some way to get the listeners involved again. But I think for now, I think we're good.
Maybe we're showing too much favoritism.
Ooh, we've been like. But the thing is, like, we show so much favoritism because he's literally the only guy that writes in. Him and PJ are the only guys that write in.
Yeah, PJ, I got a bone to pick with you.
But yeah, so Sean and Dylan, you guys never write into the damn question of the week. But anyway, so I'm gonna do a grinds my gears this week, and
I'm looking at it, and I immediately know what you're fucking talking about.
Mhm.
yeah, so we're not gonna do question of the week, but and I don't know that we'll have a grinds my gears every episode because I feel like it's gonna be forced at some point. But the thing that really grinds my gears is collectors that say, "Glad I waited" when a new Hot Toys goes up for pre-order. That is the dumbest fucking thing.
Dude, it's like you
Ever.
didn't fucking wait. You were broke and you couldn't afford the fucking figure. You're not
That's
some
Or
kind
you
of,
missed it. You're not some kind of fucking prodigy.
right. That's
Like-
like can see and use your mind's eye to be like, oh, they're coming out with a new Thanos. It's like, yeah, no shit, they're coming out with a new Thanos. That's what they do with every movie.
Yeah.
And you're not
So-
some kind of prophet.
So
Yeah.
so for me it's like you can have a figure and own it, right? And like if you have the first Thanos, you'll have had this Thanos for maybe 10 months minimum perhaps before the next armored Thanos is released because this
Yeah.
one's coming out in 2020, which the way Hot Toys has been pulling them out could be earlier.
Right.
But I don't see them rushing this figure out by any means. Because at this point, I think we're at the end of the cycle, right? There's no new movies announced after Endgame, right? I believe. And so,
Oh,
like someone.
Homecoming, or
Oh yeah, Far From Home. But you know what I mean, like as far as Thanos goes. So people who bought this figure will have enjoyed it in their collections. It will have brought them joy for 10 months. And for people to say like, "Oh, I'm glad I waited," it's like the whole 10 months you didn't have that in your collection. Maybe you're patient and you can wait for the ultimate version of a character. But let's say that they ended Captain's arc in Infinity War. You'd been shit out of luck because that's not the classic Cap suit.
Yeah.
So for people to say like, "Oh, I'm glad I waited on the new Cap that was shown in the Hot Toys teaser," or "Oh, I'm glad I waited for the armored Thanos," or "Oh, I'm glad I waited for Mark 85," you're a fucking idiot. Like, you're literally the worst part of this hobby because, you know, you kind of like almost use it as a way to put down the people that got the first figure.
not only that, but it's like I hate that because they won't make figures for things that you want. So like for DC stuff, it's like they don't order any. They won't make any if you don't order any. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
it's like,
but not only that, like the whole thing.
Yeah.
This guy made a point that was really good. He was saying like for those people that are constantly waiting for the next version of the figure, you're always going to be waiting for a figure because you know it's obviously like I think the rumors are that this is going to be Cap and Tony's at least these actors their last movie on their contract. So technically this could be the last Iron Man Hot Toys in this sort of MCU that we get. But you know, for other characters that still have lots of stories to tell, like Spider-Man, like the whole glad I waited thing, like you could be waiting for a long time, and
Yeah.
if you're just gonna keep saying like, oh, I'm glad I waited because the next version looks cooler, you just sound like an idiot. Like no one thinks it's cool. It's
Yeah.
Mhm.
the worst. So that is,
It really bugs me that they like justify it on every post that you see.
yeah.
Somebody's
It's
like,
because
oh,
it's-
I'm
It's
glad
usually the
I
same
waited."
people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, I'm glad I waited. And somebody else is like, oh, look at this about Thanos. And they're like, oh, I'm glad I waited. Like,
Yeah.
we
They
get
did
it
that-
after the first
They
one.
did that with the Deadpools where it's like, oh
Yeah.
yeah, all the arm things were fixed, and like, oh, I'm glad I waited. I'm like, no, you missed out. I missed
Yeah.
out. So I was like,
Yeah.
I missed out. Whatever.
If you
Yeah.
post, I'm glad I waited, you're kind of a dick. Stop.
Yeah. Don't do it. Don't be that guy.
Yeah, it's like you're trying to convince other people and yourself that you
It's mostly-
fuck up.
Yeah, it's mostly yourself. That's what they're
It's,
trying to do.
Yeah. It really grinds my
you're
gears.
not.
I'm glad you guys are
everybody
behind me on this one.
Everybody knows they're coming out with another version.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
big time.
Like, like I really want a Wonder Woman right now, and I want to get the deluxe one.
Yeah.
But I'm like, fuck, Wonder Woman 84
It's
or
gonna look
82 is
different.
coming out,
Yeah.
and I'm like, should I wait
Mm-hmm.
or should I just get this one? Because I haven't seen a screenshot or anything, so I don't know if the outfit looks cooler, if it's not cooler. I assume it's the same because it looks the same in World War II as
I
it
think
did in Justice
I think it's
League.
gonna be the same. Maybe
Yeah.
You know
a
what I
copy.
mean?
Who knows?
But I'm like, well, shit, like, is the face sculpt gonna be better? And I'm like, if I wait too long, this one's gonna sell out.
Mhm.
But I can take solace in the fact that another one's coming out. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not a genius for putting that together.
No.
Like, it's like, oh, glad I waited on Wonder Woman because I know they're coming out. It's like, dude.
But
no
that's
shit.
my favorite thing of all time is when people wait for a new version and then the second version is worse than the first. So many people, I'm glad I waited for this TFA Chewbacca, and then it comes out and they're like, the fuck.
I feel like that's what's
Oh,
gonna
that's
happen with
ultimate
that
card.
Justice League Batman. I think the BVS Batman's gonna be the way better.
I think you're right.
Really? I thought the
That
Justice League
suit-
one was already out.
No, it's the tech armor one. The
Yeah.
tech. I'm talking about the regular suit.
Yeah, the regular armor.
Oh,
The
is
regular
that?
armor.
So that's what grinds my gears. I'm glad you guys are behind me on that one.
Yeah,
Shout out
100%.
time for the podcast. Shout out to More Shots, MORE Shots. Anthony Moore, really cool guy. Been chatting with him. We discovered, me and him, something today. It's like no one probably really cares about it, but that Remember Reach trailer, I don't know if you guys remember, where it's the blue Spartan girl and she's running and she has the bomb and then she blows up and then the
Yeah.
other guy. So I was watching that trailer and I was like, okay, like the guy that blew up the ship got off the ship before it blew up because he stood there for a while, like watching that shit tick down. And in the comments, they're like, "Oh, like he knew he was gonna die. Rest in peace, whatever." And I was like, "Wait, he died?" And I was like, "Wait, why is Cat's arm not robotic?" And then I was like, "What? It's a prequel." And I was like, "This is so stupid. Like everyone knows this." And I told Anthony, and he's like, "Wait, what? It's a prequel?" I was like, "That's genius." I thought it was Noble Six that picks up the bomb, which is who you play in Reach, takes it up there and blows it up. It's actually the original Noble Six on that team, and he died blowing up that ship, and that's how she lost her arm from the Banshee that blew her up.
Oh.
So I've been on a Halo binge. I've been watching all the trailers and everything, getting myself hyped because the Prodigal Son is returning next week. I'm so excited. So shout out to Anthony Moore, really cool guy to chat with. He was really patient with me on my painting process. And he's actually going to send me his full armor to paint once, as a commission, once he's assembled his
That's
armor.
awesome.
So that is really cool. Do you guys have any shout outs you want to give?
Well, I'll give a shout out. I'll jump in.
Sure.
Your wife for painting the head sculpt, and you. I mean, like, thank you guys. Like, this is awesome. I mean, I owe you, obviously, but shout out.
Yeah, I'll give a shout out to Zach also because he's done like some crazy painting for me in the past. And I know
We
his
got your
wife has
Spartan
too,
base,
so,
too.
Yeah.
Zach's done a lot of stuff for me in the past, but I refuse to shout him out.
Oh,
I was not
so
beneath his ego.
hurts my soul. Check us out on YouTube. Collecting Weekly 6 Scale Mail is a new
Dude, I
video
like that.
series that we put up. And like I said, we do have the poster video coming out. I'll just do it like tomorrow morning. How to make these mini posters. I just get a lot of mail. It's like, why am I not filming this? Like, this is like a lot of stuff that I got.
Yeah,
And so
I
it won't
like
be-
the
it
name
won't-
6 scale man. It's cool.
I don't know if anyone's taken that. I didn't check. But I was like,
I don't
I don't
think it's taken.
anyone's taken this name. But
It's
I was
And
like,
we all get stuff all the time.
Dude, I
Yeah.
get tons of just like I got a friggin' arm and like.
yeah.
It's like,
So hopefully, but no one's taking it. Oh, that's ours. All right, this is great. We are in business. I was worried I have to change the damn video title.
We should also copyright it.
Yeah, it's actually been copywritten right now, trademarking it internationally. I'm filing for dissolution. So that is what we're doing. So I promised I would tell a short story about the Mont Blanc pin. It's really not that cool of a story, but Dean was really excited about his pin, and certainly a nice looking pin, don't get me wrong. So I used to work for this nonprofit as their president, and this was like a volunteer type thing. It's not like,
President Zach.
not like I was like a CEO or whatever, but we would do these things called swaps, and basically we would have like 20 vendors come from all over the United States to sell coral, like for coral reef tanks, which
Right.
I have one in my house right now. And during this event, there's pins going everywhere. People are writing down care parameters for a. I don't know what you're showing me. Care parameters for a for the corals that they're buying, or they're signing raffle tickets or whatever. And this one guy who's really wealthy, who always comes to the shows, came and Rolex type of guy, which there's nothing wrong with that, but
He has
you know,
sharks in
he
his
came,
tank.
got all his stuff, and then left. And so we're doing the event, and at some point, like, I can't find a pin, so I asked one of the vendors to run me over a pin because we're starting to take down raffle tickets and stuff like that. So they gave me a pin, I started writing with it, and in my head I'm like, damn, that's a nice pin, like, it's like a really nice pin. So this was like in the middle of the event, so the whole day I'm using this pin, I'm just like twirling it around, like putting it in my ear, like throwing the backpack, like just treating this pin like anyone might treat a Bic, And we're wrapping up the show, and the guy comes back, like we're tearing it down, like 6 o'clock. He's like, guys, I lost my pin. And I'm like, you lost your pin? Like, I wouldn't come back to an aquarium for a pin. I didn't know that there was pins that cost this much. He's like, it's like Dean can vouch that some of these pins can get up there in price, and apparently this was a very pricey pin. Enough that, this
He's
guy
taking
drove
the
like an
time.
hour or two back to get the pin.
Yeah,
And
it's not out of the realm to find a Mont Blanc over $2,000.
yes, and
Some of them are up to like 8.
sure enough, it was the pin that I've been twirling around, throwing it around, doodling with, scratching things. I've probably wasted all the ink on the stupid pen.
Yeah, I was telling Zach before the show the ink refills are $50.
Yeah, and so I'm like, is it this one? I'm like, it looks like a nice pin, don't get me wrong, but it just looks like any pin that you can find
they're,
anywhere.
They're pretty.
They're kind of nondescript. Like, if you're not a pin guy, like I am not a pin guy, you would think that this could be any sort of Walmart pin.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, it's heavier and it writes better, but he was so relieved, and that's my Mont Blanc pin story. I saved this guy's pin from, because at these events, like, everyone takes the pin, so it's a good thing that I had it, because, I'm the one that fucking has to track the pins down
You're
at the
like,
end of the day.
here
So
is your pin.
that is my Mont Blanc pin story. Hope you guys have a great week. Maybe do we have one more thing to share about who, Dean?
Yes.
Manny didn't leave the show. This
No.
is April Fool's
April Fool's,
joke.
guys.
It's his anniversary.
Yeah,
with his,
losers! You can't believe you fell for that.
Yeah, April Fool's on April 3rd. Once it's released.
Well,
But-
nobody really fell for it.
well, no one listens to this part of the show anyway, so they're gonna be surprised that Manny got
I guess they worked it out. Good for them.
So it's his anniversary tonight, and he took the night off. So we wish him and Marissa.
7 years strong.
Ooh.
We've been married this year. We're still groomsmen.
Um,
We did roast the fuck out of him.
Yeah, that part was
The
actually.
kick sauce
legit.
and the
Wait.
fact that we did.
They've been together for 7 years, and
Yes.
they're just getting married.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
that was good.
I knew my wife for like a month before we got married. So.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah. No, it was a month. It was like 3 months.
Like a shotgun
See,
wedding?
that doesn't make us feel bad because like we met and then like a year later we bought a house together. We're not married yet. We're planning to this year, but we're like, oh, okay. There is couples like us that were just like impulsive and we're like, okay.
We haven't gotten an invitation, so what's the deal with that?
Well, we haven't even picked dates yet.
I
So
can
You're
get married
definitely
this
not
year.
getting married
Yeah,
this
you're-
year.
To be fair, I never got invited to Manny's wedding. So.
Ooh.
Dude,
No,
Zach
bro.
didn't invite me to his
Fuck
wedding.
you! I didn't even know you. Anyways, guys, we love you. You guys are the best in the world. We have the best listeners in the world. We have people that chat with us all day and auxiliary.
I mean, there are some really good listeners. To this
Yeah,
show. All the
and-
time I'm seeing people in the group that I'm like, they have some really interesting perspective.
yeah.
I'm glad they chime in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I really want you guys to hop on Auxiliary.
Collecting Weekly Auxiliary, it's a Facebook group.
I
Answer
would
the
say
questions.
16 San Antonio too, because
Yeah.
I love that group. But
Yeah, and if you're near San Antonio, please get on 16 San Antonio.
Yeah, our group is it's a great group. Like I said, we did the listener special and kind of butted it with the 16 San Antonio and had some. It was kind of like both.
our world's
In one meeting. And, our meetings in person are always really good. It's just the online stuff. People post stuff to buy, sell, trade. And it always goes quick, like quick. But as far as discussion goes, like we definitely need some new blood. So check us out if you're in the San Antonio
I gotta
area.
post more. I like to read. I'm just really bad at posting.
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
terrible.
you're really bad,
Yeah, that's me.
so.
yeah, in fact, we have a contest going right now on 16 San Antonio.
We do? Oh yes,
Yeah, we
Seth
do.
is giving away
I am
a
giving
thing.
away
A tumbler that doesn't have goldfish in it.
a mug. and it has something inside. I haven't told any of y'all what it is.
No, I don't know what it is.
I actually hinted
It's
at
a
it.
human
A
finger.
kilo of Colombian.
I actually told everybody what it is in one of my posts, and nobody had figured it out. So
I think we're supposed to guess. One day we should do an auxiliary giveaway for something cool. One day.
An auxiliary like Easter egg hunt.
Maybe that's Ron's fault. I'm just kidding.
how many members does Auxiliary have?
Right now it's
31.
at 32, 31.
I just looked at stuff.
Oh, okay, 31. It was 32.
Well, I
I
left.
want to set a huge goal that if we can get to 100 listeners or 100 members in that group, I will give away one of my figures.
Holy
Oh,
shit!
fuck.
We can pick whichever one, right? No, just kidding.
No. I will give one that I am previously going to sell.
Ooh,
There you go.
wow.
But yeah,
And Seth has like a lot of cool figures.
so
Over 100, right?
100. It has to be 100. I will give away a figure.
Wow.
No,
So-
man, you have over 100 figures.
I do have over 100 figures. I have 109 or 9.
Well, you'll soon have 108 because we're gonna break that motherfucking page of gold.
I'm
I'm just gonna make a bunch
To
of
be fair, I
photos.
probably have like 110 or 11 because there's a couple that I have like set aside that I need to sell. But yeah, so
Ooh, that's pretty cool.
Well,
I want to give away a
that's
figure one day. Give away my act
I
bar.
want to be baller like that. No one wants that.
Anyways, so that's our goal. If we
You
get to
did give
100
away a figure.
listeners.
Gave me a figure.
Yeah, I shouldn't have given it to her. I should have given it to Ox. Anyways,
Should have done that.
Yeah, we didn't get an invitation to the wedding yet. Thank you guys for listening. We hit 100 members by some point.
by some, it doesn't matter. I'm not putting a time limit.
Yeah,
100
there we go.
members.
These things take time. You gotta build a
Yeah.
community. But 100 listeners, collecting weekly auxiliary, Facebook,
Be the 100
answer some questions,
listener.
and we will do some sort of giveaway. That's very generous of you. Thank you so much. We'll catch you guys next week. Hopefully, Manny will join us if our family feud is over.
Yeah.
I'm just so glad we found that fucking hand thing. That is the best
That was
thing.
amazing.
Oh,
I really, I
sideshows.
want to figure out how to put myself on the hand now.
We'll take a picture right
Yeah.
now. All right, guys.
We'll figure it out.
Thanks for watching. We'll catch you guys next week.
Bye.
All right. That's pretty good. 1:45.
So, yeah.
Not bad
That's
at
fine.
all. All right, let's cut the camera off.
Alright.
Off real quick. And then-
I think I remember how to do it.
Well, let me do it because I don't.
Okay, I don't want to delete
Yeah,
anything.
that's what I'm saying.
Because you just hit the red button, right?
I think so.
And it just